Here we go now.
I know you're probably tired of hearing people say, new year, new me. However, it can be a new year and a new you. Everyone is trying to get back into the gym. They're trying to do some weight loss things. You may have also heard of GLP-1s. Well, our friends over at RHOBH has gotten you covered with the new GLP-1 pill. The pill is a new, more convenient and approachable way to GLP-1s if you've been thinking about it. A self-administered shot can be a bit intimidating. But now there's a pill that delivers comparable results. If you've been thinking about getting on a GLP-1, RHOBH might be the way to do it. They have 100% online care, access to clinically proven, FDA-approved medications, free insurance checks, side effect management, dosing support, and more. RHOBH offers the first FDA-approved GLP-1 pill for weight loss at the lowest cost around. The new GLP-1 pill has the same weight loss ingredient as the shot and packs comparable results to the shot. It can help patients lose 14% of their body weight in a year on average. This is based on a study in non-diabetics with obesity or overweight plus a weight-related condition with diet and exercise. You may have also seen Serena Williams talk about collaborating and endorsing RHOBH as well. As a world-class athlete, she also wanted to drop pounds after having children. If I had needed this particular option, this is what I would use. A pill versus a shot, why not? Go to ro.co/Kempire to see if you're eligible for the new GLP-1 pill on RHOBH. That's ro.co/Kempire to get started on RHOBH. Go to ro.co/safety for box warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medication. More details on your discount and more will be available in the description. And welcome back to the Kempire channel. Shout out to RHOBH. Again, more information on our sponsors will be available in the description. Happy Friday. Look, I almost did not do today because there is a whole movement today to boycott working, going to school, shopping and things like that. However, when our freedom of speech is under attack, I must go live and talk about it. We'll include some other things because I know some of you also look forward to our lives as a break from what's going on in the world. Be sure to let me know if you can hear me, see me, and all the good things. Shout out to those of you watching on X, those of you watching on Facebook, those of you watching on Twitch, those of you watching on, where else were you? Oh, YouTube. Hey, YouTube fam. Shout out to everyone watching from around the country and around the world. Don't forget, we also have a live show happening, guys, in less than 2 months. We'll be here in New York City, the only show that we're doing of 2026. Here in New York City at the Green Room 42, March 13th. Get your tickets today. There's also a live stream available for those of you that can't come to New York. But if you're in the tri-state area, if you are in Philly, if you are in DC, if you're in Atlanta, if you are anywhere in the country, because we've had people come from Texas, California, Seattle, come to our live shows here on the East Coast. So go get your tickets today if you haven't already. More information will be available in the description. Birmingham, UK's in the building. What's going on? Sweden's in the building. Thank you. Sabushi says your mic is on. Should I start singing? First of all, speaking of singing, congratulations to friend of the platform, someone I've interviewed multiple times. Last night, Brandy Norwood was honored by the Recording Academy and Black Music Collective for her career and influence on music, not just Black music, but music in general. She was honored. It is Grammys weekend, so she was honored last night. So congratulations to our friend Brandy Norwood on her Black Music Icon Award. Congratulations to her. Okay, we'll get back into the Grammys in just a second because we have to talk about some important breaking news that came out earlier today. But we also had some sad news to report. Catherine O'Hara, you know that name. You remember her from Home Alone. You remember her from Schitt's Creek most recently. Like she had a real resurgence in her career, and she passed away apparently today. So according to TMZ, Catherine O'Hara, you may recall her from so many different movies and TV shows, passed away. We do not know at this particular time. Let me refresh just in case there was an update. I don't see an update. So they say Catherine O'Hara, famous for her work in Schitt's Creek, Home Alone, and Best in Show, is they say dead, but that's that's how the media reports on death. We say passed away. So they said the legendary Hollywood actress died Friday. Two sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ the cause of death is unclear. Catherine famously played Macaulay Culkin's mother in the first two Home Alone movies, the only two movies that we recognize, right? We don't recognize any other of the Home Alone movies, right? Come on. It's only those first two, and we watch them during the holidays. So she famously played Macaulay Culkin's mother in the first two movies. Speaking of Macaulay Culkin, he released a statement. This was, and they recently reunited as well. I wonder, oh, damn it. And of course, I click something and then I lose his statement. Hold on, y'all. Let me just pull up his statement again. Let me pull up the statement. Hold on. Because it was such a really sweet statement. And of course, I would lose it while I'm live. Come on, let's go. Let's go ahead. There we go. All right. So this was Macaulay Culkin's statement on social media in regards to Catherine O'Hara, who, for those that are just joining us, passed away. We do not know the cause of death. She did look pretty frail in some of the most recent photos of her late last year when she was on the red carpet. So Macaulay Culkin, who worked with Catherine O'Hara multiple times, says, "Mama, I thought we had time. I wanted more. I wanted to sit in a chair next to you. I heard you, but I had so much to say. I love you. I'll see you later." So rest in peace. You know what we always say when we report on death here on the channel? It's a reminder to those of us that are still here to live more fully. I think, especially with everything that's going on in the news, I don't think we realize as a community or as a people, as just a community. I think community is the best way to describe it. I don't think that's a lot of times we're holding our breath or that our shoulders are up like this, like we're holding our breath because we're waiting for the next terrible thing to happen. So all of us that are watching this right now, and even if you're watching the replay, relax your shoulders, pull them back. Let's all take a deep breath together. And then slowly, why am I holding my breath like that? Okay, all right, shut up. Stop that, stop. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, everyone, all right? It's a reminder when we see death, be it a famous person or someone in our own lives, it's a reminder to all of us to live more fully. If you've been waiting on taking an appointment or waiting on to do something, especially one of those medical appointments, go make that appointment right now. We'll wait. No, we won't. Pause us and then go make the appointment and then come back. We will be here. Okay? Take another deep breath. That feels good. If you have anxiety, there are some different breathing exercises that will really help. And it's really about holding in your breath and then slowly releasing it. It's hard for me to demonstrate it this way, but you get what I'm saying. Slowly releasing and doing that multiple times. Oh, okay. I need to take a moment because I was trying to talk and not breathe. So that's not good. That's not good for me. I don't want to get lightheaded and pass out on live. Lord have mercy. Okay. All right. So rest in peace to Catherine O'Hara. Thank you for that's the great thing about being a creative and making music or making movies and TV shows. Go watch Schitt's Creek. If you've never gotten to Schitt's Creek, it's such a great show. It's such a great show, and she is phenomenal in it. She's been phenomenal in so many movies. But if there's like one of those later years projects that she did, definitely check that out. You can watch that on Netflix. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. All right. We had some other breaking news this morning. This is why it's important for you guys to follow my short form content. Sometimes I do end up posting here on YouTube, but I posted this first on TikTok. Follow me on what is it? Upscrolled? Upscroll's a new one. I haven't uploaded anything there yet, but I do have an account there. Kempire on Upscrolled. So follow me there, okay, if you can. It's an Australian app, but it's created by a Palestinian man. So go follow me there, okay, Upscrolled, because I think TikTok's days are numbered. Our days might be numbered. Don Lemon, friend to the channel, friend to he follows me on TikTok. Shout out to Don Lemon. Don Lemon was arrested. As you know, Don Lemon, nominated for an NAACP award. There we go. CP award. Has been arrested by federal agents. Federal agents. He's in Los Angeles to cover, because he's working the red carpet of the Grammys, and I'm pretty sure he will be out in time for the Grammys on Sunday. He was arrested by federal agents. We knew something was looming because you saw Nicki Minaj. I'm not going to even give Nicki Minaj anything right now. You saw it. You saw what she received it for all her shucking and jiving. You saw it. And if you are still a barb and still like, oh my God, Nicki Minaj, and I see some of the barbs coming for me on social media, I don't care. If you want to sit there and follow someone that isn't willing to sell you out, you are in a cult. You are in a cult. Grow up. But you know, I don't expect anything better from some of the barbs. Because I know some of you have sense that consider yourself a barb. Hopefully you don't consider yourself a barb anymore. You saw what it was. All she wanted was that card because she came here as an undocumented immigrant. She came here as an undocumented immigrant, so I guess she was fearful that ICE would be coming for her, so she sold all of y'all. She sold all of you all out, okay? So all of you. Well, she was one of the people to go on social media. They need to arrest Don Lemon, that sea sucker. You remember when she said that? Well, the DOJ had talked about possibly arresting Don Lemon, and that is exactly what happened in Los Angeles. He was arrested by federal agents, a journalist in America, the United States of America, a journalist, an independent journalist, a journalist that has years of experience, was arrested in America. He's not the only one, though. I just saw someone else be arrested by federal agents. A journalist, another independent journalist. Let me get the name because we naming them all. We're naming them all. Hold on one second, y'all. This is a live show. Don Lemon, for those that are just joining us, was arrested by federal agents. Okay? There's video footage of this independent journalist. Shout out to our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk. Let me bring this up because I just had it here. All right, come on in, Barbs. Dislike the video if you want to, because y'all gonna find a new. Y'all know I don't care, right? Yeah, but y'all should have known that by now. The amount of stories I've done on Nicki Minaj over the years. You're in a cult. Dummy. All right. Let me see if I can find, where is this article? They just had it. I just saw it. This is what I don't love about the algorithm. Where is that story that they did on this? Why can't I find it? I just was looking at it. I was just looking at this article on the Neighborhood Talk, and now I can't find it. Where is it? 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 Why can't I find it on this damn thing? They did it. They did it. I was just looking at this article, and I can't find it now. Where is it? Oh, damn it. Well, I wanted to talk. There was another independent journalist that was arrested by federal agents as well. That came knocking on her door. And for those of you that want to outweigh the barbs, keep liking the video. Because we had 6 barbs dislike the video. Keep disliking barbs. Dummies. Exactly. Free Don Lemon. Free Don Lemon. I can't find the article in front of me, y'all, but I wanted to talk about it. We should be very concerned Oh, thank you. I couldn't find. Thank you, Nkezi. For some reason, I couldn't find it. Thank you, Nkezi. Don Lemon was arrested along with independent journalist Georgia Fort and activist Traherne Jean Cruz and Jamil Liddell Lundy. Thank you so much, Nkezi. I was trying to find the article. I couldn't find it because this is a live show. We should be very concerned that journalists are being arrested. There are so many signs about what's happening in this country that we should be concerned about. This is not Republican versus Democrat versus no. Every single person in this country should be concerned because this is a huge precedent in our history. So let me just update you on what happened in regards to Don Lemon's arrest. The Associated Press writes this. They said journalist Don Lemon and 3 other people were arrested Friday in connection with an anti-immigration enforcement protest that disrupted a service at a Minnesota church and increased tensions between residents and federal officials. Lemon was arrested by federal agents in Los Angeles where he had been covering the Grammy Awards. His attorney, Abe Lowell, said it's unclear what charge or charges Lemon and others are facing on the January 18th protest at the city's church in St. Paul, where a local official with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement serves as a pastor. Lemon, who was fired from CNN in 2023, has said that he has no affiliation to the organization that went into the church and that he was there as a journalist chronicling protesters. Don has been, let me read to you because Don's attorney has released a statement. And so has CNN. So shout out to CNN for, even though they're not working with him anymore, they still have his back because they should as journalists. So, because this could happen to CNN journalists. So Don's statement from his attorney says this. Don Lemon was taken into custody by federal agents last night in Los Angeles, where he was covering the Grammy Awards. Don has been a journalist for 30 years, and his constitutionally protected work in Minneapolis was no different than what he has always done. The First Amendment exists to protect journalists whose role it is to shine light on the truth and hold those in power accountable. There is no more important time for people like Don to be doing this work. Instead of investigating the federal agents who killed 2 peaceful Minnesota protesters, the Trump Justice Department is devoting its time, attention, and resources. Please keep in mind your tax dollars, okay? Keep that in mind as well, to this arrest, and that is the real indictment of wrongdoing in this case. This unprecedented attack on the First Amendment and transparent attempt to distract attention from the many crises facing this administration will not stand. Don will fight these charges vigorously and thoroughly in court. And that's the thing. I think that this administration knows clearly that they have no standing in court. They did it to so many other people already. Okay, Tish James here in New York, they tried to do that with her. So, and failed. But I think they're using this as a scare tactic against the people that they're attacking, but also us. They're saying, look what we can do. Look what we could try and get away with, because they haven't gotten away with it. Okay? So for those that are just joining us, Don Lemon has been arrested by federal agents for doing his job as a journalist in the United States of America. I also saw that CNN released this statement. Shout out to our friends over at Variety. The FBI's arrest of our former CNN colleague, Don Lemon, raises profoundly concerning questions about press freedom and the First Amendment. The Department of Justice already failed twice to get an arrest warrant for Don and several other journalists in Minnesota, where a chief judge of the Minnesota Federal District Court found that there was, quote, no evidence that there was any criminal behavior involved in their work. The First Amendment in the United States protects journalists who bear witness to news and events as they unfold, ensuring that they can report freely in the public interest, and the DOJ's attempt to violate those rights is unacceptable. We will be following this case closely. I'm looking at everybody. I'm looking at every single person in Congress. I'm looking at the Senate. I'm looking at the House of Representatives on both sides. What are you guys doing to stop this administration? What are you guys doing? Shout out to those of you that called your local senators to stop the funding of ICE this past week. It worked. It worked. And this is why I said, I have to go live today, because I really was going to take today off, because, Beverly Hills is... What exactly is everyone supposed to, that you've elected? This midterm is going to be very interesting. This midterm elections is going to be very interesting on both sides. On both sides. Because some of you that want to be reelected, you're going to get primaried because you've done nothing. You've done nothing. Very concerning. We should all be concerned. It doesn't matter if you are a journalist. Honestly, everyone around the world should be concerned, because if the attack on the First Amendment is happening here, what we've seen since Donald Trump has gone into office the first time around were other countries, other individuals in these countries trying to mimic what they've seen happen here in America. So this is why I say, yes, the attack on First Amendment speech and free speech is happening here. That if it's happening here, it's going to happen in other places. Please understand, it might not happen this month. It may not happen this year, but it will. It will. All right, just giving you guys an update on this, okay? All right, we're gonna move on from there. Free Don Lemon, period. Everyone in the chat, put your lemons. Shout out to, if you're a lemon head, let us know. Drop your hashtag Free Don Lemon. It's important. It's definitely important. Let me open up my notes. In other news, I think this was worth us talking about. Luigi Mangione. I know we haven't talked about Luigi in a long time. My Taurus brother. I know. This is why I don't know if I believe he did it. I don't know if I believe he did it. He has the same attorneys that represented Diddy, right? Because I see his attorney in this picture. So according to the Gothamist, they said that a Manhattan judge dismissed the most serious federal charges against Luigi Mangione, sparing him the possibility of the death penalty. According to a ruling issued Friday morning, the U.S. District Judge Margaret Garnett said in her decision that Mangione will still face 2 federal stalking charges, which each carry a maximum sentence of life in prison without parole. But she's dismissing the murder and firearms charge solely to foreclose the death penalty as an available punishment. There's a lot of the way that this was handled on the prosecution and the police side. There's a lot of, he might walk free, y'all. Okay, I don't know if he's gonna walk free, but just some of the things that I've seen in regards to this case, I'm just like, are they okay with the way it was handled when he was arrested initially? So after a conference in a federal court Friday morning, defense attorney Karen Friedman Agnifilo, that's Mark's wife, said that she and her client were, quote, very relieved that the capital punishment was no longer an option. I just want to thank the court for this incredible decision, she said, adding that she was also grateful to all of Mangione's supporters for coming to court and sending him letters. In a separate ruling Friday, Garnett denied Mangione's request to prevent prosecutors from using the contents of a backpack seized during his arrest at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Mangione's lawyers have argued that local police illegally searched the backpack and should not be allowed to show jurors what they found at trial. A deputy chief from the Altoona Police Department testified at a hearing last week, and Garnett said that he convinced her that local law enforcement followed proper protocols when they searched Mangione's bag. Federal prosecutors charged Mangione in the unaliving of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson outside a Midtown hotel in December of 2024. Oh my God, it's been over a year. Mangione also faces state charges in Manhattan, including murder. He has pleaded not guilty in both cases. Mangione's defense attorneys asked Garnett last year to dismiss the murder and firearms charges on a legal technicality. They said that federal prosecutors could only pursue those charges if they were also accusing Mangione of other violent crimes, and argued that stalking charges didn't meet the legal criteria. At a hearing earlier this month, prosecutors and defense attorneys spent nearly 3 hours arguing over whether the charges should stand, with Garnett frequently cutting in to ask questions. The judge, in her decision Friday, noted the absurdity of the defense's request, saying no one could seriously question whether Mangione is accused of a violent criminal conduct. The defendant is charged with selecting a stranger to unalive based on his employment, carefully planning the unaliving, including identifying where and when the selected victim would be most vulnerable, traveling across multiple states to carry out the unaliving, and then gunning down the victim down on a public street in Midtown Manhattan using a handgun equipped with a silencer. Something about this case and just never sits right with me. Because do we know if Mangione even has a history of even knowing how to use a pow pow pow? And a silencer? I know there's a lot of speculation whether or not he's actually the person that did it. But okay. But she said Supreme Court decisions over the past couple of decades have changed how judges are supposed to assess the types of legal questions, forcing her to ignore Mangione's alleged actions. Instead, she said that she had to focus on hypothetical scenarios to figure out whether the stalking charges should be considered violent crimes. The judge criticized this approach, saying that it can lead to questionable results that defy common sense, but said that she was duty-bound to follow Supreme Court precedent. This is where legal stuff gets really interesting. This would be actually a really great conversation to have with Kirsten Brown back here on the channel. Kirsten, if you're watching this, girl, we might have to set up the camera and get back to talking about this case. In a 39-page ruling densely packed with legal analysis, Garnett said that prosecutors failed to establish that the stalking charges should be considered violent crimes. She said that some of the prosecutors' arguments to establish that Mangione's stalking charges qualify as a violent crime make, quote, little practical sense and clash with the law's logic. Mangione appeared in Manhattan federal court Friday in handcuffs, wearing a short-sleeved prison khakis. He frequently conferred with his lawyers but did not speak publicly or visibly react to the dismissal of the capital charges. The hearing came the morning after federal prosecutors said a man impersonating an FBI agent. Did you guys hear about this part? They try to break him out. The hearing came the morning after federal prosecutors said that a man impersonating an FBI agent showed up at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn with a pizza cutter and barbecue fork, saying that he had papers ordering Mangione's release. Well, he don't sound well. Garnett said prosecutors have until February 27 to decide whether they'll appeal her decision to dismiss the counts. Jury selection is scheduled to begin on September 8th. Damn, that's a long time from now. That's the end of this year. Scheduled to begin on September 8th, Garnett urged both sides to keep the court's schedule. At present, this is not a capital case, she said. So that's an update. You know, it's been a while since we talked about Luigi Mangione. I will be adding timestamps, guys, after today's live. This is our Friday live. We will be talking about a bunch of different hot topics and reality television shows. So, replay crew, I will be adding what you need. Chocolate Soul, not a box cutter. I know. All right. Let me see. Natty Girl, I caught your comment, Natty Girl. Natty Girl says, not Kempire late. Let me be quiet before he calls me out. Natty Girl, I'm not going to call you out like we did Carla. Last week. Patricia says, Don Lemon's channel has been live since about 10 a.m. this morning. I know. Yeah. Shout out to the people that support Don Lemon, the journalists and the independent speakers and content creators that he welcomes on his channel all the time. And they will have been holding down the fort over there, covering this story on his pages. So shout out to all of them. Let's see what Autumn has to say. Let me read it first, y'all, because I saw some of your comments. Let me say, even inside where the action is, they're always outside, you know. Okay, I'm going to read your comment, because as long as you weren't being disrespectful, okay? So Autumn says, someone says she ain't no diva. I can't. Stop. Autumn says, Don shouldn't be in that church. What journalists have you seen inside where the action is? That says to me, Autumn, you don't watch the news. The journalists are always inside the action. And sometimes I'm like, damn, y'all need to not be so much inside the action because your lives are at risk. They are always inside the action. They are always outside of it. No, they're not. You never have seen journalists busting into an environment without permission. Let's be fair. That's not true. I don't know what channel are you watching, Autumn? Fox? Yeah, they're probably not inside the action. But thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Shout out to those of you that are here. I did want to say this. You do not have to send in super chats today. I really did not want to be live today, just because today is really supposed to be a day of no one working, no one spending money and things like that. So you do not have to send a super chat. I will try and be vigilant to see your comments. Don't put them in caps because Nightbot will get you. Okay. No, Latonya says, let Autumn keep giving it. No, that's all right. No, that's all right. But no, journalists all the time. Just the other, what was it? Maybe a few months ago, maybe last year, I was talking about Anderson Cooper. I think he was covering one of the weather situations, and I was like, you don't need to be there, Anderson, but he's there because he's a real journalist. Okay. All right. Exactly. Jamie says, Autumn, you need to watch the live Don did. It's very clear what this administration is trying to do, guys. They do not believe that Don Lemon did anything. There's just so much lies that's fed, and that people fall for it. And I wish I could tell you guys to do better, but at this particular point, you are trying your best not to look for the information. And I say that on both sides. We should be seeing everything. And luckily in 2026, we can see everything. When I was growing up, look, when I was a little boy, we didn't have social media. Oh, damn. We didn't. We didn't have access. We had to just go by what they told us in school. Now with the creation of social media, we've learned so much that we did not learn in school. So I implore you guys have access to information from around the world. Hence why they wanted to get rid of TikTok and take over TikTok. Because people were using that platform to get the information out there that we never knew about. Exactly. Anella says, beautiful picture, Anella. She says, that's literally how journalists work since time. Like, that doesn't make sense. But Nicki Minaj and her trolls are probably trying to, I guess that's part of the deal, Nicki, Onika. No to Queen, thank you so much for the super chat, but you do not have to send in super chats today. South Korea literally has journalists on the ground in Minnesota and dubbing it for the Americans. Come on. But you know what? Look, I refuse this point forward arguing with people that will remain ignorant. I refuse to, and that's on both sides. I'm not even talking about just if you're Republican. I'm talking on both sides, because there are some, especially here with what we experienced with this mayoral election, I saw it on both sides. I saw it within the whole Democratic Party. That's why I said some of y'all gonna get primaried in this midterm. All right. Exactly. Educate. Look, Dr. King said it a long time ago. It's so crazy how Dr. King's words from how many years ago are so relevant today. IB says that education is elevation. Take a look. It's in a book. Look. Come on. Exactly. Shout out to the journalists that passed away in Gaza. They report from war zones and in the eye of the storm. But maybe she's going to learn today. Maybe Autumn learned today. She's like, wait, well, I didn't know. I didn't realize. I didn't know. Literally, journalists have lost their lives from reporting the news. Rest in peace to the journalists that passed away reporting on what was really happening in Palestine. All right. I'm sorry. Let me take a moment. I was talking about we need to breathe. Let's all take a breath together. Because I did feel my chest getting a little hot. All right. Can we take a little bit of a break? Can we take a little bit of a break from the seriousness of it all? All right. We talked about that. We talked about that. All right. I do want to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion trailer. I do want to talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I do want to talk about the Traitors. I do want to talk about the Valley Persian style. So I will get into the Valley Persian style, but we're not done yet, y'all. We have a lot to get into. Buckle up, okay? The Valley Persian style. I'm a little frustrated, but congratulations to them. I saw Deadline reported that they had like the second highest premiere for, was it on streaming or something like that? I do think that this new season, this new iteration of Shahs of Sunset is really good. I enjoy it, but I'm enjoying the newbies more than the OGs. MJ, Gonessa, well, Mercedes. That's what she's going by now, not MJ. MJ, Gigi, and Reza. But it's so clear to me when watching the Valley Persian style that these OGs are so producing. They're self-producing because they've done reality TV for so long. I'm gonna give them some leeway here because I think with the newbies, some of these newbies don't know how to get to the point or bring up certain things when you're filming. So I can appreciate sometimes them bringing stuff up. But I will tell you this. I am so over whatever the storyline is when it comes to Glonessa because you invited Dennis, you invited this man, and you were concerned that your friends would not embrace him. You invited him. Now all of a sudden you don't want him there. I am so over Glonessa. She has not evolved. She talked about going to therapy. She talked about how she had anger management. And I'm like, where? Where at the end of this episode, you're ready to get physical with Sky. And I get it, guys. I know everyone doesn't like Sky. I don't necessarily like Sky either. What I can appreciate is that you need a Sky in a cast like this. You need someone that's unlikable. So, and she don't want to live in the valley, Sky. Sky apparently, you know, I guess she's elevated in life, so she wants certain things. She's like, I don't want to live in the valley. From what I recall, and you guys that live in the valley or live in California, let me know. I remember back in the day, but this was years ago, living in the valley were for people that were not, you know, you had to be you weren't a certain person lived in the valley. But I feel like in the most recent years, that's changed. The valley isn't what the valley used to be how many years ago. But you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just saying I don't live there. I don't live in California, so I don't know. I just remember people saying that years ago. Like the valley wasn't like the place to be. It wasn't the it place. I don't know if it's since been sort of like gentrified in that way. But okay. Someone says, get her, Gigi. No. I get it. I get why people do not like Sky. I do. I also don't understand why Sky took her friend's serum and put it on the dog, but I don't think it was a big deal. At least I don't think. If it's good enough for my skin, why shouldn't it be good enough for my dog's hair? But okay. Would I have done that? Probably not. But would I have gossiped to Reza? And then for Reza to bring, because you know Reza's going to bring it up. But that's me. What's saving the Valley Persian style is Amira and Natasha's storyline. I have to say the newbies. Reza Jackson. That's the other one, though, you know. It's definitely giving that. I don't know. It's gentrified? Okay. That's what I thought. The Valley's gentrified now. Anyway, I appreciate the newbies. And I saw Mercedes talk about, she's like, she really likes the newbies this season. Moving on. Hold on. Let me take a sip, y'all, because I've been talking a lot. Reese says, I want Gigi to get Sky. See, but you guys are trouble. Her getting Sky is violence. It's not just Gigi cursing her out. She's a violent person. Okay, so you know I gotta cite my sources. Let me pull up what I found in regards to this, in regards to more about this story. Hold on. Because why is Gigi on this show? Well, last week we were talking about should Reza be on this show because of his problematic behavior. All right. Just saying. Shout out to Toronto Pop Zone because I'm glad I saw this because I didn't realize the love triangle that we're talking about with Gigi's storyline has to do with Paulina. Remember Mike's ex-fiance? The one that Mike got those charges for? Well, I do remember that Paulina and Gigi apparently got into it at the local mall, and she got a restraining order against Gigi for attacking her at the local mall. I just don't understand. And you know what's frustrating to me when it comes to Gigi? If I saw growth in Gigi this season, I would understand. But Gigi walks around like a perpetual child having a tantrum. You invite Dennis to come to Palm Springs, And then you're mad that Dennis is there. And then you're having these hissy fits about it. And then you're mad at Mercedes making him breakfast. I mean, that was weird too. I didn't understand that, like how they shifted their, like they didn't like him because he ended up hooking up with her friend. The friend apparently was Paulina. The friend that Dennis hooked up with and apparently is still with is Paulina, according to the Toronto Pop Zone. Thank you for putting this together, Toronto Pop Zone, on Instagram. So they said Dennis and Gigi go way back. They've been friends and business partners for years. Gigi, first of all, have you guys seen Dennis? Okay. And I think Gigi's a beautiful woman. Terrible attitude. That's where it makes Gigi very ugly. Terrible attitude. And I get it. Shots of Sunset was built off of her antics, but how many years later? Was it at Lenox Mall? Let me see if they tell us where the fight happened. So Gigi has claimed that Dennis has made her money with his support managing her business intimately. Gigi, that's their toy thing. So October of 2024, Paulina was on Shots of Sunset as Mike's fiance. Unfortunately, Mike was arrested for a DV against Paulina. You remember that this all happened when they announced. This all happened after they announced that Shots of Sunset wasn't coming back, and everyone thought it was because of this. There's an unsettling video footage of the attack that was made public. We saw it. They have since separated. Personally, I'm so happy that he's not on TV since goodbye, Mike. It's what they say. So November of 2024, after 11 years of friendship, Gigi and Dennis decided to tie the knot. So which is all playing out on this season of The Valley. So she's talking about this. Honestly, I don't care. But what stood out to me was like, wait, Paulina's the woman that she's talking about? They wore casual outfits. Gigi was in ripped jeans and Dennis in a black sweatsuit. Keep in mind, she only married Dennis to get back at the guy that she really was interested in. How old is Golnessa? Golnessa's what, damn near 40? Raising a son? Okay. The couple got matching 555 tattoos on their wrists, which happens to match the address of the building that they got married in. After about a week and a half, the pair decided to annul their marriage. Gigi revealed that she got married to Dennis to provide some clarity on the relationship and prove to herself that she was in love with a mystery man named BJ. What? This is all playing out on the season of The Valley, Persian style. But still, like when you read it out, you're like, what? What is wrong with you? Okay, so shortly after his annulment, Dennis was seen with Paulina Ben Cohen, Mike's ex and Gigi's friend. And it was confirmed that they were dating. So Paulina of it all. So apparently, I'm going to say allegedly because I didn't see the video footage. Gigi attacked Paulina in a Los Angeles mall. Probably. look. Gigi approached her. Was it the Beverly Center? No, I'm playing. Sorry, Beverly Center. But I mean, y'all told me y'all were concerned when I went to the Beverly Center. Like, are you sure? Gigi approached her while she was shopping and, quote, forced her to exit the store for a conversation. She wanted to take place out of the sight of cameras. Oh, hell no. That's some mafia. Paulina stated that Gigi hit her and pulled out chunks of her hair. As a result, Paulina was granted a temporary restraining order. Like, really? While Paulina and Dennis don't post each other on social medias, according to Decider, the couple is still going strong. Mind you, he's doing this reality show with her. He looked fun. Let me show y'all this picture of Dennis. Like, really, mind you, she doesn't even like Dennis. Gigi doesn't like Dennis. Gigi married him to get back at someone else. Exactly. Trini says, Gigi, you're a mom now. When she called her son in this week's episode, I was like, who's the child here? She's like, hey, bro. I'm like, what is happening right now? What is happening right now? This is the man she's fighting. Y'all see this man? Dennis. She doesn't want Dennis. She doesn't want Dennis, clearly. So what are you mad about? I don't understand what she's mad about in this week's episode. I don't understand what she's mad about in general. She's just mad. And she's spending, what, $3,000 to $4,000 a month on the reefers? And it's not making her, it's not mellowing her out? She's arguing with this man. Gigi, you are far too beautiful But you don't want this man, Gigi. You don't want this man. Anyway, moving on from that part of the story, I did want to mention my favorite part. First of all, Reza Jackson, I love the fact that of everyone, he calls her out for being a hypocrite, Gigi. He's just like, why is she mad at him? You used him to get back at you, the guy you were really interested in. I have to say, I appreciate him. He, for me, is the levity of the show. He's the funny. I like him. I really do. I'm concerned for the women dating him, but if y'all need to take y'all rose-colored glasses off if you dating Reza Jackson. Maybe he needs to as well. You saw when he was talking with the guys, and he's like, let's hug. I bet. All right. Okay, let me talk about the real story that I want to talk about. Amir and Natasha. You remember last week's episode of the Valley Persian Style. Amir spoke to a medium who was in communication with his late ex. It was a beautiful moment. Natasha admits that she does feel a little insecure when it comes to the memory. Like, you can't compete with the memory of an ex that, passes away due to cancer. And she was like the love of his life. What I did not realize, and I don't know if it was revealed in this week's episode only, I don't know if they mentioned this before, Amir and his late ex had embryos. What? They had embryos. So I wonder where are they? Are they still around? I don't think he should do anything with them, obviously. But it makes me, I was like, wait a minute. But I get why Natasha might be insecure. But at the same time, it's so like, Natasha, this is why it's great to speak to a medium, because I think it provides the living closure on a lot of stuff that they're still beating themselves up over. I felt like after the medium that Amir would get closure, but also I thought Natasha would get closure. Like, his ex is wishing you well. She brought you guys together. She's playing with your children. I mean, don't tell the kids that. They might be a little scared. You know what I mean? I thought after meeting with the medium, she might feel a little freedom. She gets emotional talking about it in this week's episode. Paris says, hold on, Paris, let me put your comment. Where is that coming up? Paris says, the child is 5. Yeah, I thought the combo was weird. Been loving the Valley. I love Reza J for the guy for the guy perspective. I got to start listening for the T on the Valley P style peeps. Yeah, I just feel like she at some point she's gonna have to let it go, because it's not his problem. I don't feel like he's treating her differently, but maybe he is. I don't feel like Amir's treating her different. If anything, I love them as a couple. Do you guys think that they should have brought the kids on this trip? Do you think they should have been in the house with everyone else? Because that seems to be an issue for the rest of the group. I don't know. Like, they have a bunch of kids. If they still show up, they still have a good time. I like them as a couple. They remind me of that other couple on the other Valley. Y'all remember that other couple? I can't think of their names. You guys know what I'm talking about. They're always having babies. That couple. They kind of remind me of that couple. So I like the new cast. I do like the new cast. Was there anything else that I wanted to... Yo, Sky. So Sky wants to... She doesn't want to... Sky only can shop at Erewhon. Sky, I guess she didn't grow up with a lot, but now she does. Reza being Reza and messy, not Reza J, the original Reza, the messy Reza, brings up the fact that her best friend, Tannen, did not appreciate her rubbing her serum on the dog. I have to defend Sky here. If you're my best friend, why are you telling messy Reza any information about something that you're upset about? But then Sky says, do I charge you for the jewelry? And then she was like, well, I paid money for the jewelry. She's like, but did you pay retail? That's not free jewelry, though. You don't give your best friend any free jewelry? I don't know. Some people feel like she might be a little jealous of Tannen because, she has this big career and life and things like that. But she also doesn't seem to be in a happy marriage, Tannen, with Greg. Let me remember names, okay? But okay. I'm enjoying the season so far. I can't say that I'm loving it. I really do feel like the OGs, although I appreciate what they bring to the show, I also feel like they're adding a little bit of toxicity to this group. But I also don't think the show would be greenlit without them and moving forward without them. But I had to every week. Next week might be Mercedes and what she's done. That's problematic. Last week we were talking about Reza attacking someone on social media. This week we're talking about Gigi physically assaulting Paulina because she's the other person that they're talking about here, attacking her. But yet they brought her back for this show. Oh, all right. All right. We see you, Bravo. We see you. We see you. Coco says, why was this show canceled anyway? No one ever confirmed why the show was canceled. They had good ratings. So I don't know why the show was canceled. I don't know if they're being paid far less than what they're being paid now. I wouldn't be shocked if the network did something like that, where like, we're going to cancel your show, make you sweat a little bit, and then bring you back and lowball you. Because it's a new show. I can't bring you back with the salary that you had before. Do you see how reality TV is effed up? Just saying. Angel says the sky is giving Wendy without the scammer. We rich, our kids are rich. No, I think she came probably from humble beginnings, and now she has a little money, and she's coming across pretentious. I get why people will not like her, but I think she's good for the show. I'm thinking from a producer perspective. I think she's good for the show. Would I like her? No. I agree, Coco says. I want Family Karma back. I would much rather watch Family Karma than any of this because at least we have a good time. At least they're funny. You know what I mean? And there's so much going on with Family Karma right now. Oh, Gigi's over 40? That makes it even worse. Look, Gigi's over 40, Mia says. Lord. I don't see growth in Gigi. It's so frustrating watching Gigi this last couple of weeks and them focusing on her storyline. I'm like, I don't care about what Gigi's talking about. Now she's like stomping her feet and mad about Dennis getting along with her people. You brought him here. You invited him. Who cares? Just Chilling says, where's Ryan Seacrest? Because remember, Ryan Seacrest was the original producer of Shahs of Sunset. These are different producers now. The producers that produced The Valley produced this show. They also produce Beverly Hills. They also produce Orange County. Yeah. So your favorite guy is behind this one. All right. Autumn's back, y'all. Autumn says, y'all really never seen that I'm in Atlanta. Love you, Kempire. Stop eating me up in the comments now. Autumn, it's okay. Like I said before, the way that you presented your comment, it wasn't disrespectful like Carla last week. Don't eat her up in the comments, y'all. But she may have learned something today. Did you learn something, Autumn? You don't have to send a super chat. But did you learn something? At least it wasn't like Carla. Remember Carla said, it's not a good look. We still talk about Carla. OMG. Let's move on. Since we're talking about a show produced by the people that produce Beverly Hills, let's talk about Beverly Hills. All right, I will be adding timestamps, guys, so that you can skip through the things that you want to talk about. But as I do that, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share the video. Okay. Don't forget, you can also hear our live recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. This past week, we did a new Club Kempire podcast episode. That's the paid subscription on Apple Podcasts. You can check it out. I spilled some Ultimate Girls Trip tea, which I found out today was confirmed. So if you were a Club Kempire baddie, you knew already that Dorinda and her home in the Berkshires was where the finale was happening. I told you that on whatever day I did that episode. It was a few days ago. Not my tea coming through. And when we talk about the Potomac reunion, I should have dropped that tea that I knew about the reunion and about her, about Wendy and Karen, because I was like, oh, not them dropping the trailer today. Damn it. It's all right. It's all right. I'm sure I'll get more. All right. T says, I hope Autumn learned a lot. Yeah, I'm sure. Guys, keep liking the video. Let's counteract the 9 barbs that dislike the video. I'm just assuming that they're barbs. They're just haters. Keep watching. I don't care. Keep watching. Marlo, thank you so much. Marlo says, appreciate you, Kempire. Independent journalism is really all we have, and it must be protected. #freeing Don Lemon. And shout out to Joy Reed. She's celebrating 400,000 subscribers here on YouTube. I see that she was also on Don Lemon's channel along with a bunch of other friends of Don Lemon's channel. You know, we are friends of Don Lemon's channel as well. And I always tell you guys to go over there and support and subscribe if you haven't already. Don Lemon has already reached over 1 million subscribers over there. And he's able to do the work on his own terms versus when he was with CNN. I know that's got to feel immense, and he doesn't need to. Y'all know Don Lemon got a good payout from CNN. He also got another payout before that. Oh no, he's suing. Wasn't he suing Elon? He was supposed to have a deal with Elon's ex or something like that. So he's suing for that. I don't know what the results of that has been, or if there is one. But Don has been over there building a network for himself, and he was in Los Angeles he was covering the Grammys. He's supposed to be on the red carpet. I'm assuming he will be free before then. Is he free yet? Do we have an update? Let me know, guys, if you find out if they set Don Lemon free yet. Free Don Lemon. Y'all know I normally do not say free anyone, but this is someone that definitely needs a free. All right. Mr. Melon Magic says, Kemp, who was you asking me? How about you Google Schmoogle it? I don't know who the couple was. Who's the couple that got married at the end of the season? The straight couple. Oh my God, I can't think of his name right now, but I know who you're talking about. We didn't even know that they would ever get married. Damn it. But it was such a good season, and so much has happened with the Family Karma folks. All right. The one that would drink a lot. Yeah, Don Lemon. For those that are just joining us, Don Lemon was arrested by federal agents for the work that he was doing in Minneapolis. They did release a statement. I will show you exactly what they said here. Again, you can pause the video to read the full statement. That was a statement from his attorneys. I'm sure Don Lemon will be free at any point. All right. Arjun says, set me free just for Don. We're going to set Don free. Come on.
Set me free.
Free Don Lemon.
Get on with my life now. I want to get on with my life now. I got a brand new wife now. I'm going to have a little baby child.
Free Don Lemon.
A little baby child. A little baby child.
Good job, Gregory. You did a great job.
I know, okay. I know we're being facetious here, y'all, but no, we should be very concerned. We should be very concerned that federal agents arrested Don Lemon. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I had to throw it out there. Miss Esquire says, I want to know what the charges are. We do too. At this point, we don't know. I don't know if they've released any updates since then. We don't know what charges they are bringing against Don Lemon. All right. Someone said that's my jam. Y'all are a mess. All right. Let's talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Lord. How the mighty have fallen. And it's not because Garcelle is not there. It's because they refuse to evolve this show. This show has gotten so bad to the point where I don't really see a lot of people tweeting or talking about this season. I see that Kyle, Paris Hilton, and Kathy were on Watch What Happens Live last night. I didn't even watch it. This show has fallen so bad. So bad. Okay? So I'm just going to briefly talk about some of the moments from this episode. I'm not going to dwell. All right? So at the top of this week's episode of Beverly Hills, we have Erica and Rachel meeting up. I don't know about y'all. I know so many of the Bravo universe like, oh my God, I love Rachel. I don't. I see what Rachel's doing. Rachel is falling in line with the other ladies. Like she's part of the Mean Girls group. And look, I get why people do not like Amanda. Amanda is a weirdo. But I understand why they hired her because they wanted this weirdo energy. They wanted to be like, oh, she'll be great for the show. They wanted that. What I'm not liking is that everybody is ganging up on Amanda. But it doesn't seem to faze her, though. Okay? It doesn't seem to faze her at all. So Erica and Rachel are hanging out. She really likes Erica. I bet you do. So they gossip about Amanda and Dorit's beef and what happened at Rachel's party. Okay? So Rachel brings up Amanda taking a business call in the car, which I felt was like random. So why are we talking about that now as opposed to before? But okay. It was weird, though, that she was taking this call. It seems like Amanda wants to prove something to these women about her business. But I did think it was odd that you're taking a full-blown... First of all, even if it wasn't a business call, if it was a personal conversation, girl, why are you on speakerphone and we're filming a show? Get off of your phone. It felt performative. Okay? Exactly. Miss B. Wood says Amanda helps them with something to talk about. That's their storyline. That's their storyline. Oh, Way of Keith says exactly. Keith, you see where I'm going with this. Because very much like what the cast is giving Stacey on Potomac is what this cast is giving Amanda. Keith says Amanda's giving white Stacey energy. Unbothered. Which might make, I don't think it's going to make her a fan favorite, but because I think the fans don't like her. And I don't blame why you wouldn't like her. I completely get it. But I also completely get why they hired her. All right. So Rachel compares Amanda to, she reminds me of a Pan Am flight attendant. Okay, show your age. Okay. Pan Am. And a flight attendant. And I was like, oh, she's probably like, she does give like Stepford wife kind of energy. We find out later that she was in a cult, Amanda. I'm sure they're going to ask her about it. Like, you were in a cult? At first, I thought they were talking about her business and people that follow her as a cult, but apparently she was in a cult. Well, some people, look, some of you, certain religious organizations are considered cults. I'm just saying. Just saying, some people are in cults now. Apparently, a lot of that happens in California. A lot of the cult activity. I saw a TikTok a few months ago about that, where a person who lives in California, she says, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've been approached to be in a cult. I was like, oh my God, that's scary. That is really scary. Danny says, Amanda is so off, but great television. Delecia says, I said the same thing about Pan Am. Was the cult Scientology? Well, maybe. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I didn't go Google schmoogle the article that she wrote about it. All right. Q's Heart says, Amanda doesn't bother me. Maybe because I'm originally from LA area and people like her are a norm. Well, that gives you, yeah, I can see that. But she's not from LA. But she probably, that's why LA is not my vibe. That's why Atlanta's sort of not my vibe. It's sort of like the same sort of like people trying to be like everybody's an actor or this or that. And I'm like, that's why I love the energy of New York, despite the snow and the cold. That's the only thing about New York. I'm like, ugh. But when the summertime comes, I'm going to forget about it. The last few winters here in New York have not been that bad. All right. But yeah, that's why I love the realness of New York. It's not a lot of like social climbers and things like that. Tika says, are we a cult Kempire? Because I love it here. I will tell you guys this. I got a birth chart reading a couple of years ago, and the guy was looking at my birth chart, and he said, based off of my birth chart, he says, if you wanted to lead a cult one day, you could. Oh, what? No, because I always tell you guys to be Team You. We're going to put it on a shirt together. Yes, be Team You. I'm not telling you what to do. Be Team You. Honestly, based off of them saying that she was in a cult, now I kind of get the blank affect of it all from her, the blank stare of it all. Sometimes when you're in a cult, not that I would know, just the cult documentaries that I've seen, you're never the same. You know what I mean? Especially those of you that have been in Scientology, like I don't think that they're ever. Everyone, you're always asking, what's the name of the people that are, fans of yours? Cult Kempire. What? That's cult with a K. It's a little different. Cult with a K, y'all. You want to hear something funny? Okay, we're taking a sidebar. Back in the day in high school, my friends used to say the body of Kemp as a way to like do stuff. Like, oh, the light is red, body of Kemp. They made that up. I never told them. It was like real random. Like I had a cult in high school. The body of Kemp. I went to a church. I went to a Catholic high school. That's what they used to say. That's what they used to say. Okay, be Team You. Model Nia says, Kempire, I think you would get so tired of the members. I think you like your peace. You're right. You are so right. You know me so well. Well, thanks for being here, model Mia. No, I watched way too many cult documentaries. I'm so disturbed by cults, to be honest with you. But remember, okay, no offense to anyone that's a Jehovah's Witness, grew up a Jehovah's Witness, but you saw that some people say that that's a cult. So technically, was I in a cult? All right. Would that be offensive, y'all, if we did some cult Kempire merch? MJ says you need to make cult with a K, Kempire merch. If we do a vote and you guys say we should do it, I'll do it. Okay? We are a mess. Focus. Let's focus. Let's move on to this stupid show, okay? So Amanda and Kyle go furniture shopping. Amanda says that she woke up every 30 minutes. She didn't get any sleep. She was so bothered by what happened with Dorit. Okay? I feel like I'm twerking on a fence when it comes to what happened with Dorit and Amanda. I think Dorit should have ended the conversation the minute she brought up the child. But I also do think that Amanda weaponized that to end the conversation. I do believe both things can be true. Okay? Everyone says I vote yes. Cult with a K. Cult with a K. All right, let's move on. So Amanda says she felt like Dorit was aggressive, and she says that she has not heard from Dorit since the party. She says that Dorit disrespected her on the anniversary of her son's death, but she didn't know. But I do think that, and Kyle agreed. She was like, she should have ended it there the minute you brought it up, but she continued to go with it. Here y'all coming up with the merch ideas. Y'all are a mess, but I'm reading them. Look, I'm reading them. Okay. All right. Kyle says that she wishes Dorit would have ended the combo when Amanda mentioned her son. Amanda says that she will not go to any dinner parties feeling emotionally unsafe. She says, then I thought of Carla because she's like, it's not a good look. I said, wait a damn minute. Not a good look. What is happening here? What in the Carla is going on? It's not a good look. All right. All righty then. Kyle says that Amanda needs thicker skin if she's going to be in this group. And then you saw it when she talked about Crystal Kung Minkoff, and then they flash back. No, okay, now we're not going to do any KK, you know what merch. Okay, no, we're not doing that, Angela. We're not doing that. All right, let's not get offensive. All right. Foxy says burrito is a dingbat. Not a dingbat. I love that word, dingbat. To say. All right, focus. So Kyle says that Amanda needs thicker skin, and the things that she's saying in this conversation is reminding her of Crystal, and they flash back to when Crystal was getting into it with the group. I think you guys are the problem, more so than these newbies. Okay? All right. Let's go to this next scene, which I thought was interesting. Here we have Mauricio surprisingly showing up on camera, mic'd. Come on, do we forget that element that he's mic'd? Come on now. All of this is plotted and planned. And I also find it interesting that Mauricio conveniently drops information about the agency, his business. I was just meeting with some Saudis. Yeah, we're gonna open up an agency in Saudi. You mean Saudi Arabia? Shout out to those of you that watch us in Saudi Arabia. Who would have thunk it? Hey, Saudi Arabia. So I thought it was interesting. I was like, it's giving RHOP right now. What's happening? Lightbright says, I catch you. Lightbright, we're not talking about you, though. We're talking about the other Carla. She knows who we're talking about. Okay. So Kyle, and Bo's friend. Okay, so Bo's, we get a little glimmer into Bo's and how she grew up. Does it make more sense now? Tish, are you still here? Does it make more sense now, some of her corporate behavior? She grew up around a lot of white people. She was the only black person. I mean, so did I, but I guess, environment versus nature. I don't know. Versus nurture. I don't know. But here we are. So we get to meet Bo's best friend of like 30-something years. They grew up together. She talked about moving from Ghana to this area, and it was no one besides her. that was black, and she's like she moved from a place that was like heat and to somewhere really cold. T says, "Yup." I thought about it. I was like, "Oh, no, this probably makes a little bit more sense why she aligns herself with the white ladies more than anyone." And with the narrative, which people have said about both, she wants to be the only one, like how she grew up. Like how she grew up, she wants to be the only one. Just something to think about. So, Kyle admits that it has crossed her mind to file for divorce, and it's usually like when he annoys her or something happens. And she says the reason why she hasn't filed is because it's a big decision. Look, people have speculated the reason why Kyle hasn't filed for divorce is because they've made a lot of money together, and that's part of the motivation behind not getting a divorce. And I don't know if they've been actively behind the scenes trying to figure out how they're going to split their lives and their money and things like that. I know there's rumors that they've rekindled. Dorit said on Watch What Happens, like she doesn't believe that they co-parent and they always travel together and things like that. So that's not a big thing or new thing. So Kyle saying that, it never crossed their mind to file for divorce. I don't believe that. Kyle is such a bad liar. It never crossed your mind to file for divorce, but you've been separated. You've been separated for a couple of years now. You had a whole on relationship with other people. Mauricio's been out in these streets, lifting women up in the air, playing with snow bunnies and all kinds of stuff, going on other reality shows and flirting with the girl. It never crossed your mind to file for divorce? Huh? Like, that part doesn't make sense to me, but I think it's because she doesn't want to say, well, there's a lot of money. Like, I don't think she wants to say that. But I'm so tired of Kyle. She's able to pick and choose what she's able to share on this show. And it's giving like, okay, so what are you sharing at all? It's the same stuff over and over again. Hey, Janice. Janice says it can out that Mauricio saw production and they are the ones who mic'd him up and sent him in there. I wouldn't be shocked that this was all planned, especially with the questions that were posed against Mauricio. It's just giving like, I think some of you do not understand how strategic production can be. Okay. So Mauricio conveniently shows up and he reveals that he was meeting with the Saudis and he's opening up an agency, blah, 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 blah. Fine. Mauricio says that he never thought about filing for divorce. And he was like, have you? And she's like, well, sometimes when you piss me off. Okay. Bose brings up the fact that, I saw you at the Soho House with a woman. And she was like, oh, she's a girl's girl. I keep telling you guys, anyone that refers to themselves as a girl's girl, usually 9 times out of 10, is not. So she talked about that moment, and he's like, you call it a girl's girl, I call it a spy. The Dorit and Mauricio conversation that they're setting us up for, producers, we don't care. I don't see the point of Dorit and Mauricio exchanging numbers and meeting up to talk about her side of what's going on in her divorce. Also, that he might change his mind and go and defend you to PK. So are we going to get another scene with PK this season and Mauricio talking about what Dorit told him? We don't care. We honestly do not care. I think this whole setup of like, oh, you were so mad at Kyle talking to PK. Now you want to have a sit down lunch with Kyle's husband and talk about your other situation. Kriya says it's definitely a plan. It's weird. You guys are producing, and again, there are some people that have been on this show for way too long. And I'm looking at the Fox Force flunkies. Kyle, Erica, and Dorit don't care about whatever is going on with you. Really don't. Did anyone even notice that we barely saw Sutton? Didn't care. Ifoma, thank you so much for being a member and thank you for the super chat. Because Amanda is out Karening the Karens, and I love it. Not out Karening the Karens. I know that's right. Zamunda, Thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Zamunda says, OMG, I grew up a Jehovah's Witness too. We are literally besties. Gary, I thought we talked about that before. Tamika, thank you so much for the super chat. Tamika says, I found it very suspicious that Mauricio just showed up out of nowhere right after Dorit mentioned him. Side eye. And I'm not saying things are impossible, especially in LA. But, you know, conveniently she decides, to tell Mauricio too in that moment, we need to have a sit down. We need to exchange numbers. Okay. So y'all can start the affair that people have rumored for a very long time. Tish, thank you so much for the super chat. Let me shimmy. Tish says, I went to a predominantly white high school. I was intentional about going to an HBCU. I yearned to be around people that looked like me. Bows can't relate. Well, because she probably saw the benefit of being the only one. In her head, she saw a benefit. You know what I mean? Zamunda says, aka Gary, says, keep calling me out my name. What if I'm trying to hide? I'm just letting y'all know. Gary. All right. Let's move on because I've already been live for over an hour. Okay. Moving on from this terrible scene. Rachel's divorce makes headlines. I remember when this came out, and a lot of people already thought that she had gotten a divorce from her ex. I was shocked when it was like, she just filed for divorce? Or did she wait because she was filming the show to file for divorce? This whole scene that we get with Rachel and her team about the divorce felt so performative. I don't remember the years of the Rachel Zoe project and how she was on there. I just remember she was mean. But I'm just sort of like the vocal fry of it all, the hobo fashion of it all. I'm just like there are moments that I've liked of Rachel Zoe on this show, but there are other moments I'm just like, I really don't care. This is so performative. Look, OMG Steph says, I don't care about Rachel. The divorce storyline, it's like, okay, everybody on this damn cast is divorced or divorcing or separated. And she's making this big deal. She comes in and she's just like, Dee says, I hope Roger's happy now. I wonder if Roger's going to fight. Because remember, they started this business together. Allie says, I skipped that part. It was a very short part. It just felt performative. It felt performative from her. It felt performative from her team. The phone call she makes. Okay. Just Jules says, I loved Rachel on the Rachel Zoe project. A lot of people did. That's why people were excited to see her here. I just remember, I can't remember every detail of the show because I didn't watch it chapter and verse. But yeah. Miriam says, Miriam lost your comment. Miriam, thank you for being a member. Miriam says, production planned it. The women were saying, I think this is a Mexican restaurant setting the scene for Mauricio to show up. You know what? Now we really reading into it, right? Right. And Jesse says, no wives in sight at all. All right. Let's move on from that terrible scene. So Rachel has her divorce storyline, okay? She decided now to file for her divorce. We find out later when she's talking to Dorita about her divorce. She says the reason why she didn't file for divorce sooner was because she was figuring out the logistics of her life. Do you guys believe that? I mean, I can see that. I mean, you're separating your lives. You're trying to plan whatever's next. There's a lot of money. There's no prenuptial agreement. That's what stood out to me in that particular part of the scene that I needed to know. They have no prenuptial agreement. Wasn't he a business partner in her business, which is a multi-million-dollar business? Rachel Zoe, she's got things everywhere. You go to Marshall's, you see Rachel Zoe frames and not a picture frame. Don't get that picture frame for Greg and Kiarna. You know what I mean? So. It's also on Peacock, the Rachel Zoe Project. I saw it this morning. The Rachel Zoe Project, you can watch it. I'm not going to rewatch that right now. I don't need the vocal fry. I don't need the vocal fry. Like, I can't. No, sorry. That's why I don't watch the Kardashians. They still talk like that. Throw the vocal fry. I feel like I'm getting stupider by the moment. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Look, exactly. Paula says, I have a Rachel Zoe comforter set from TJ Maxx. I have some of the, not towels, but like the kitchen towels, you know, the ones you can use a lot and then throw away eventually. I got that. I saw them. I was like, oh, look at Rachel Zoe. But I see them anytime I go to like Marshall's, like, oh yeah, there go Rachel Zoe. And she got the sheets. She got a lot of stuff. A lot of money. A lot of money's there. So it makes me wonder, because she's saying that she doesn't want spousal support and she doesn't want to pay spousal support. So I'm wondering how they're going to split this business. That will be interesting. Gene says flat hair and vocal fry. Casey says I hate vocal fry. Sonia says that Golnessa is still a mess. It's good reality TV. No, I'm over watching Golnessa. Jan says my Taurus brain can't imagine not getting a prenup. Remember though, they've been together for 30 something years, but they were only married. How long were they married for? They were together a long time before they got married. So C says the vocal fry kills me. So I'm not the only one. Good to know. Casey says I have Rachel Zoe clothes for Marshalls. Lady has money. Like she has a thriving business, but he was a part of that business. So she's either gonna have to buy him out, but that's gonna be a lot of money. But she doesn't want to pay spousal support, and she doesn't want spousal support. Okay. Moving on from there, Kyle and Mauricio take a tour of Amanda's home, which was their original home. And so they flash back to all the different moments and the different rooms that they're going in. I have to give Amanda this. You might not like her, but she did a hell of a job with that house. She really turned that house around and modernized it. It looked great. I liked the choices that she made with the paint, the tile, the renovation of the kitchen. It looked really good. I could not understand later on in the next scene when she has to point out, Amanda has to point out, well, I bought the house. He helped me renovate it, but I bought the house. Sidebar, for those that remember the Rachel Zoe project, do you guys remember Rachel Zoe being emasculating to Roger? I can't remember. But for those that watched the chapter and verse, let me know, because I'm willing to be wrong. But I was just like, because I found it to be interesting, Rachel Zoe's comments about Amanda. Even though I agree with her, why did Amanda have to bring that up? But rewinding. So Kyle ends up getting emotional. And this is the only time I'm going to give Kyle grace, because I agree. I can see how going into your old home where you guys were last happy, I could see how that could be triggering. It also feels like this was like, we have to also remember Kyle is an actress. Even before she did reality television, she was an actress. Was she a very good actress? I'll leave that up to you guys. But she was an actress. So sometimes it's hard for me to be like, is this the real Kyle or is this the performative Kyle? Because I think we get a lot of the performative Kyle on this show. Okay? So in getting the tour of the home, she walks away and she goes into another room and she has an emotional breakdown about it. And look, I understand why she might get emotional looking at this, but part of me still does. It's hard for the audience to have sympathy for you, Kyle, because we still do not even understand how we got here. I think that is part of the issue here. We have not gotten to, how did we even get here? Did he cheat? What did he do? What happened? What caused you to go to the run to the arms of the one who loves you? I love that song. Written by Diane Warren for Escape. and then all the scissoring, we were scissoring, we're no longer scissoring. You know what I mean? Like, I want to feel sorry for you, but was the decision based off of your new relationship with Morgan? And maybe that's what you don't want to say because you decided, like, you know what, I'm not happy in this relationship and I'm feeling a way about another woman, so we should separate. Not get divorced, but separate. You know what I mean? So I think that's where the audience is going to have a hard time. We don't know why you got a divorce. Or separated. We have no idea. Part of me understands why you would get triggered being in this old home, but at the same time, I'm like, but how did we get here? I think people would have understood if you said, you know what, Mauricio cheated on me. We would have understood that, but we didn't even get that. Okay. All right. So she ends up getting emotional, and when speaking to Mauricio about it, he doesn't have any emotions towards it. Well, man. But he doesn't seem to have any emotions about it as he's talking to her about it. He's like, why are you crying? He hugs her when they go outside. I don't understand. Landa says that maybe Rachel's speaking from experience about the whole Angel says Kempire hitting them notes like Latasha, not Candy. Not the shade towards Candy. I love all of them on as a group. Okay. Jamie says, am I the only one that thinks this divorce isn't going? Jamie, it's been how many seasons since they announced their separation? Come on, leave Candy alone, y'all. That's my song, though. I'm going to listen to it after this. That's fun. That's why, well, first of all, as a singer, songwriter, I always loved Diane Warren. I love the way she would write a song back in the day. She's written some of your favorite songs, including Unbreak My Heart, Because You Loved Me, Have You Ever, For You I Will. What else is she? I mean, there's so many songs that Diane Warren has written for so many people. Just saying. Anyways, I digress. All right. Miss B. Woods is right. She said, Mauricio is living his best life and still married, shaking my head. If anything, he's having the best of it. But some might say so is Kyle. She's able to stay on this show collecting millions of dollars with no storyline. And everyone's going, well, this is a storyline. We're sick of it because it's not going anywhere. The storyline's not moving. It's not moving. Monique says the ballads. Yes, Monique. Diane used to write the ballads. Okay, and there's so many songs. I can't even list the songs. There were some rock songs that she did for Aerosmith. Come on now. Okay. All right. And then we have the group dinner. They have the group dinner. Amanda, this was a celebration of Erica and Dorit's birthdays. Okay. Amanda makes a point to say that she bought the house and that her husband helped her renovate it. I wonder how he feels about it. Okay. Amanda asks what time were they supposed to be there when Dorit arrives late. She's like, what time were we supposed to be here? Not Dorit always showing up late. So Rachel has a side conversation before she even comes to the table, which was weird. Didn't you think that was kind of weird? Because even Bose brought out you were sequestered as soon as you came in. Like, as soon as Dorit comes in, Rachel has to have a moment to tell her about the divorce. She's like, why didn't you tell us this was coming? Like, why didn't you file for divorce sooner? Blah, blah, blah. What? Can I sit down? It felt like they're trying to produce a moment. This is probably the worst season of Beverly Hills. Don't y'all think? I think it's the worst season. Exactly. Lori says, oh, Kemp, me and you see each other. Diane Warren is the GOAT. She is, y'all. She is. All right. Moving on. Can I just be done with it? Can I just be done talking about Beverly Hills? I am. You guys will let me know what you thought of the episode and how you would rate the episode. They're lucky that I'm even still talking about it. But look, we're live. We've been talking about a bunch of different things. I will be adding timestamps, y'all. Men, my babies. That's not your real name. Thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Really don't know which cow we're getting. I agree. Ifoma, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Mo seems high and confused. He didn't seem moved by Kyle. Well, he does smoke the ganjas, right? So probably he's very mellow. Who knows? MB says, please do, be done. And we're moving on. Today's live show is brought to you by our friends over at Rose Forever. Valentine's Day is literally 3 weeks away. Have you gotten your roses yet for the person that you love? And if you haven't, this is your reminder. You probably didn't even realize that Valentine's Day was right around the corner. You were probably ignoring all the Valentine's Day merch and things like that just literally came out while it was still the holidays. Well, I'm here to remind you. We have partnered with our friends over at Rose Forever yet again. This is probably our umpteenth year of working with them. And these roses that I'm holding in my hand are from a year ago. And I wish you could smell this through the screen. They still smell like roses, and they are. These are real roses that will last you up to a year. Our friends over at Rose Forever don't just sell roses, though. You can get roses, you can get hydrangeas, but also for those that want other roses other than red, even though it's traditional, maybe you want purple, maybe you want pink, maybe you want white, maybe you want blue. There are colors for you. But now Rose Forever also has candles and delicious, big, huge candles. And we're back. Look how, in comparison to my head, look how big this candle is. And there's so many delicious flavors for you. So if there's something that you wanted to get for yourself or someone you love or just someone you appreciate and you were thinking of an idea of something that is actually long lasting, get you something from Rose Forever. And of course, we've gotten you covered with a discount. Be sure to check out our discount code and our special link available in the description. Time is running out. Literally, after this week, there will only be 2 weeks, and you want to keep enough time for delivery. And delivery is really good with our friends over at Rose Forever as well. Get your Rose Forever, something that will last you and something that people will look back at and like, oh, I remember the person that got me that. And they got me that last year. It's still beautiful. It's still luxurious. Get you something today. More information, again, will be available in the description along with your discount. Hello, we're back. Shout out to Rose Forever, guys. Valentine's Day, like I said, is 2 weeks away. You still have time. There's great shipping. Go get your roses, all right? And get your discount. Look at my beautiful roses behind me. C says, Kemp, when you throw these ads out, what you be doing? I always want to drink in my water, reapplying some lip gloss. I was going to go grab my cape because the Traitors Recap is coming. But before we get to the Traitors Recap, we have to recap and talk about the sit-down, the one-on-one sit-down with Karen Huger and Andy Cohen. That is going to be the season finale for Real Housewives of Potomac. Then I want to talk about the reunion trailer that came out literally before we came live. So let me just cue up the sit-down with Karen and, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me actually go to Bravo's thing because I forgot to cue it up before. As I'm doing that, guys, don't forget to share the live. All right, let me bring this up. Okay. So I have thoughts, and of course, we will talk more about this on Monday. But I do have a lot of thoughts in regards to just the clip. So we'll talk briefly about some of my thoughts here. I believe what we're going to see with the reunion, with the season finale, will be the sit down, but also what's going on with Wendy. This is how I picture they're going to do this. They're going to give us a sit down between Andy and Karen. And then at the end of it, they're going to give us the flash in regards to, oh, Wendy was arrested after filming, blah, blah, blah. And then, you're going to get that moment with Eddie and Wendy being emotional at their home. But if you look at this reunion trailer, and we talked about this when Taria Faison was here, when she's seen them in court, they're acting like these charges aren't serious. They're facing up to 15 years in prison. You know what I mean? Jan, yeah, we're going to talk about the Potomac reunion trailer as well. Let me say, the Girls Club, thank you so much for the super chat. The Girls Club says, Georgia Fort and the 2 other journalists in Minnesota were just released. Thank you for the update. No bond was required. They signed themselves out. Thank you so much, the Girls Club, for the update. But no update on Don? Thank you for that. Yeah, so that's an update in regards to the story earlier for those that may have missed it, that Don Lemon and other independent journalists that were reporting and doing their jobs in Minnesota were arrested by federal agents. All right. If we find out about Don, guys, let me know in the chat. Thank you. Let's get into this trailer for Karen's sit down with Andy Cohen. So this is a sit down that happens at her home. We're going to play this under fair use. I'm going to have to stop and go, guys, just because Bravo can be real weird about these things. Okay. All right.
And watch that film. I didn't allow Ray to watch that.
Okay.
I didn't even watch that film. I didn't allow Ray to watch that film. So I didn't have input from my husband. So I couldn't relate.
Pause. So what she's saying is that Ray did not watch the arrest that we watched and played for you guys and talked about. The Thomas Jefferson concubine video. I told you, it doesn't matter if Ray watched it. He was there for some of it. He saw how inebriated you were. this is where I'm kind of like, okay, Karen, everyone's like, oh my gosh, she's showing accountability. Is she? Is she showing accountability? I'm not understanding if she's showing full accountability here, y'all. It sounds like a bunch of excuses. Okay.
To what my lawyers were telling me, which they were giving me great advice, like, Karen, take a plea deal. Let's get you a plea deal, because the
So her lawyers told her to take a plea deal.
video is going to nail you. But I hadn't seen it.
They said the video is going to nail you, Karen. And she decides to still push forward.
Said
Yeah.
the video's going to nail you.
Yes, they did.
Take a plea deal.
Yes, they did.
And you said,
Because I hadn't seen it, I was still in denial and still under the influence.
under the influence of what?
Prescriptive drugs and drink. Alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were cloudy
I was cloudy.
and you were in denial.
And I was in denial.
And did they say this also to Ray?
I actually isolated Ray from all of
You
that.
did.
That's the part I don't believe. She says she isolated Ray from this. You didn't isolate him when you called him come pick you up for being in an accident and getting arrested. You didn't isolate him from that. I don't know if I believe any of that. I think she just wants to have it to the point where she doesn't want to reveal that Ray probably told her the complete opposite of what she did and decided to do.
I wanted to face this on my own.
There were rumors that you were offered a plea deal for a few months of house arrest.
Not true.
And that you turned it down. Is
Not
that true?
Not true.
No?
No.
Karen, that
I
makes...
know.
Wow. So
So she's saying that there was no plea deal, but her attorney said that she should try and get a plea deal, but she refused to do that as well.
they said this video is very damaging
Yes,
to
they
you.
did.
And they said
Because I had not seen it and I was not dealing in
you
reality.
would not watch it.
I couldn't watch it.
You couldn't
I
watch
was
it.
afraid of it. And then when I was in rehab was when my therapist sat with me to watch it.
She said, you have to watch this.
I have to face it.
And when you watched it,
I was blown away. I understood the sentence.
now this was, of course, before the sentence.
Oh yeah, but I knew the
You
sentence was
watched it.
coming.
Yes.
That part of the story, it doesn't make sense to me. So she watched it in rehab with her therapist, and the same rehab that the judge basically said you went on vacation. He didn't take her rehab stint seriously, the specific place that she went to. So something about that part of the interview made me like, wait a minute, huh? Because I feel like you could still probably lessen your sentence. It's not making sense to me. It's not making sense to me. But again, this is only a preview. I will wait to hold my thoughts for the full version. But I really hope for her own sake, that she really is doing the work and getting the help that she needs.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
My lawyers were
But
very
when you
good lawyers.
watched it,
Yeah.
did you say, among other things, how did I not watch this? How did I not listen to my lawyer? Like, I mean, it was a preventable.
It was preventable. It was preventable, but let's not underestimate the power of drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. If she was under the influence, but that more so than anything should be any reason. First of all, you have grown children. She has grown children. You think if my mother was in this situation that I would be like, you're making these decisions? I'd be like, no. I would want to see the tape. I didn't grow up with parents that drink like that. Just saying. I don't even remember ever seeing my parents drink. Just saying. However, if this was the situation, you have grown children. None of your grown children were like, I need to see this. What is going on with the case? I need to know more details about this. I can understand maybe Raven probably wouldn't say that, but you have an older son. He wasn't there, though, when she comes home. So I thought that was interesting. But maybe he didn't want to be filmed.
I wasn't happy here.
So this part is interesting, guys, because she talks about, it sounds like more excuses. And I wonder if Andy will bring up in this interview how she said being a leader on Real Housewives of Potomac also was part of the reason why she increased alcohol and the pills that she was taking. We shall see if he asks that question.
Let's be very clear. Ray and I have been very honest about our marriage, and we were going through. We still were. And I was very unhappy. And the kids were gone, and the house was a tomb. And I just wanted to get away that night. I wanted to escape being unhappy. I was so unhappy.
So her original excuse was that she met up with a friend and she was emotional because they were talking about her parents. Okay. I just want to remind you guys some of what was said at the time. Not saying any of this is not true, because I think a lot of people have speculated that this relationship, this institution, they've just stayed in it for whatever reason. I don't know what that reason could be.
I'm just so grateful that that night that I had the accident, that I didn't hit a person. And thank God, because I could have killed someone.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful that I did it. I'm grateful I'm here. And honestly, Andy, I don't drink and drive. This is something I just wouldn't do. So I had to be out of it to do it.
Well, you did.
I don't drink and drive, so I had to be out of it. But you did, and that's not the first time that you've drank and driven. And he's going to point that out now.
It 4 times.
Well, let's talk about that.
Okay.
This is where she loses me again, guys, because Andy points out, well, according to the judge, this is your 4th DUI. She's going to talk semantics here. What in the Meredith Marks?
I drank in the past and drove.
Okay.
And I had a DUI.
4?
I had 2 DUIs, not 4.
Okay.
Let's be clear. There were.
No, let's be clear. You have how many DUIs? Let's go back.
Okay.
Let's be clear. There were 4 incidents involving alcohol.
There were 4 incidents involving alcohol.
Okay.
2 of them were not DUIs.
Okay.
And the oldest one is 20 years old.
Yes. I want to go back to the day that you were sentenced.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by the severity?
I was shocked. I knew I was going to jail.
Okay.
I had made peace with that. But I thought maybe a month. No more than 3. But this.
So she really didn't think that she was going to get the book thrown at her. She's lucky to be out now, because technically they could have kept her in there for the full time.
This was just one more step toward accepting my responsibility for what I did.
So that was the preview that Bravo released in regards to the Karen 101, which will be the season finale for Real Housewives of Potomac. He is going to ask her about why, there are fans that say that you should not be on the show anymore. I did not expect in this one-on-one that I would feel the way that I feel towards some of these answers that she's giving. Exactly. Danny says, this sit down is not needed if we're going to get a performance. I'm going to wait till I see it in full, but based off some of the answers, I'm just like, taking accountability. Okay, it wasn't technically maybe 4 DUIs, but they were alcohol-related traffic stops. Is it because you were able to have those DUIs, hence why you did not get arrested for that or serve time for them? Is it because you were able to have them dismissed or whatever it may be, or some sort of legal loophole? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But based off the preview, I'm like, don't seem like Karen has changed much, y'all, or learned a thing at all. We shall see. I'm going to wait to watch and review it on Monday. So stay tuned, guys, for that. All right. All right. Since we're talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac, let's talk about the reunion trailer. The reunion trailer dropped earlier today, right before we went live. We already talked about the reunion look. So if you missed that, you can find that here on our channel. We've also talked about it on the podcast. So the reunion set looks like a reunion set. That's all I can tell you. Again, I'm going to stop and go. We're going to play this under fair use of research and commentary purposes. All right? Exactly. Jamie says 1 DUI is bad enough. And one of the things that she said in the preview from when she first arrives at the home after being released, she said something to the effect of, what did she say? Oh my goodness. I can't remember what did she said. What did she say? That, oh my gosh. I can't remember it, but if it comes back to me, I'll mention it to you guys. Or if anything, I'll write it down so we can talk about it when we recap the season finale of Potomac. But I was just like, I don't know if this lady really gets it, but okay. Let me play for you the Real Housewives of Potomac season 10 trailer that was released earlier today. It's very interesting because it's confirming some of the information that I heard about this reunion. All right.
For the last 5 years, Dr. Wendy and Eddie Osefo have lived an aspirational life. Wendy, you and your husband, Eddie, were arrested. You're facing 16 counts of alleged fraud.
I feel like I'm in a constant nightmare. I'm trying so hard.
So they're showing the moment that I guess the day after they were arrested. Of course, here's the thing. Let me take a picture. Let me just take a picture so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Because I'm not going to show you the video because, Bravo is so weird about their things, okay? So weird about their things, all right? It's definitely giving, because you remember, because I know I got the mugshot in here, but this, you could tell she's wearing makeup. She's wearing a more natural beat. The hair is better than, mind you, this is the hair that you're seeing during the after show. Not us breaking this down, but we got to. This is what we're doing, Bravo. Okay. She is wearing a natural beat. This is the look that she gave during the after show that I said to you, like she seems a little like down, even though during the reunion, she's definitely given a different energy. During the reunion, she's giving a little bit more upbeat energy. During the after show, she's giving a little bit more like sad and demure. But I don't know. But you see her hair and everything, because she don't want y'all to remember her. Look where it is. Hold on. She don't want y'all to remember her like this. Where is it? I know I have it in here. Oh, where is it? Oh, here it is. Because I know I didn't take it out of here. She don't want y'all to remember her like this. Okay, with the mugshot. And her, Eddie with the eyes hung low. Okay? MJ said, what's wrong with the natural beat? Nothing's wrong with the natural beat. But I'm telling you, I think it's intentional. She wants you guys to see her like this. Like, she don't want you to wear too much makeup. It's just going to be demure, pulled back, but the hair is better than it was during the arrest. So that's what it's giving to me in this particular moment. Am I mad about it? No, I'm not mad about it. Okay. All right. Nicole says, don't do it, Kempire. No, come on. You got arrested. It's public knowledge. It's everywhere. Just saying. All right, moving on, guys. We're almost at 1,000 likes. Keep liking the video. I'm going to continue playing the reunion trailer that was released earlier today.
I was so...
Hold on.
I'm constant. I feel like I'm in a constant nightmare. I'm trying so hard. I was so scared.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. But when you're in that valley, you see a side of yourself that you've never seen before.
She starts dabbing away some tears.
Next week, a jam-packed Real Housewives of Potomac reunion begins. I love this dress, Stacey.
Thank you so much. It's a Nigerian designer.
The Nigerians want the name back.
Let my people go.
There was more dip on my chip.
Learn to laugh. Ding, 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 ding.
I don't know what Wendy was doing here or what it's related to.
We've never ended a season in a gas station.
Long story short,
Ooh, tomato, tomato.
It was only a kiss with Sharice's son.
Was there more?
They're going to talk about the kiss again?
Tia, we
Lord have mercy. So, Sharice is going to book some more interviews, y'all. They're going to talk about the kiss again. I knew that they were going to talk about the kiss because they made it a thing. And now it's been a thing ever since. Because we just did a video this past week where Sharice was on the Sherri Shepherd show talking about this kiss. And look, in all fairness to Sherri Shepherd, We had a snowstorm this past weekend here in New York. So there were a lot of people that were probably supposed to fly in to be guests on these talk shows, Watch What Happens Live, the Sherry Shepherd Show, all the shows here in New York that probably could not make it in. So they were probably clamoring for people to have on the show. So, and I said to you before, if you are a Club Kempire member, I speculated. I said, well, Jean Murray used to be an executive producer of the Sherry Shepherd Show. He's based in D.C. He probably knows Charisse, and that's how it all happened. That's how I speculated. But Jean, we really want to know why you decided not to return to the Sherry Shepherd Show, and that's your best friend. What's tea on that? Now, that's what I want to know about, but that's just me. Don't y'all want to know more about that? All right, I've digressed. All right, if you remember the channel, I've dropped the calling for you guys as well. We're listening to the reunion trailer for season 10 of Real Housewives of Potomac.
Ever see your husband?
I can't talk about this thing without crying. I'm sorry.
Why don't we see your husband? Didn't we see him enough? Did y'all want to see more of Tia's husband?
You stole Greg from his wife.
Wait a minute. So Jazzy says that Kiarna stole Greg from his wife? Wait a minute.
You're clutching your frame.
OMG. She literally brought the frame, y'all. Kiarna brought the frame to the reunion. First of all, the frame, although it's probably great quality, I'm looking at it. The frame. Okay, let me show you the picture. Please hold. And apparently there's some sort of message in it too. Oh, Lord. Y'all ain't even put a picture in it yet? Y'all ain't getting no couples pictures? There's a message in the frame. Oh, my Lord. This is sadder than I thought. Let me show y'all the frame. Don't that frame look cheap? Like, Rachel Zoe probably makes better frames. What? The jewels look beautiful, though. The jewels look beautiful. The nail job that the lady did, or whoever did a great job, Kiarna. You and your picture frame, your not even your condo anymore. You ain't even got the condo anymore. Someone said, bring back Kay. Said anyone ever. Who said that? Hold on. Oh, not next level girl. She said, bring Kay back. That needs to be addressed. No, we don't care. Hold on, let me play back what she says. Hold on.
You stole Greg from his wife.
Jazzy says that Kiarna stole Greg from his wife.
You're clutching your frame.
Now she's clutching her frame. Okay, so Monique in this dress is so bad. She's so bad. OMG, what is going on? This dress looks so bad, Monique. So Monique pulls out her phone because she has some information, and it looks like it's information on Stacy. Oh, Lord.
Show this to you.
Wendy, I feel like you are looking at Stacy for her to confess.
I want to see what this is. And if I find out, y'all, I'm going to tell Club Kempire baddies first. I'm going to find out what was the receipt that Monique brought to the reunion. Or we can just wait. We can wait till the reunion to see what the receipt was. Okay? Karen comes out. Karen looks amazing. Look. Or we just dragging Karen. Karen looks good, though. You got to,
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Andy. You ladies been behaving?
So I did hear about Karen and Wendy going at it during the reunion, and her warning Wendy with the amount of information that she was sharing during the reunion.
Did you lie again this season?
Karen turned over to Stacy. Did you lie again this season? Oh, damn. All right, come out of the woodwork.
Did you lie again this season?
The way Wendy's acting now, like, it's...
First of all, what's the name can't even say? She says, really? Come on now, Kiarna. This is my problem with you, Kiarna.
Wendy's acting now, like, it's like nothing.
So Ashley and Giselle are talking about Wendy, and they're talking about how she is acting like everything is normal, like you're not facing jail time right now.
Totally.
I would be here as a nun.
Then they show a picture of Wendy and Eddie laughing in their room. I mean, at least they're still together, because some people speculated that there was trouble in their marriage after the arrest.
You're talking too much, Wendy.
So Karen says to Wendy, you're talking too much.
You're talking too much, Wendy. I went through, I know. Follow
So then you start seeing Wendy start crying.
me here, Professor. Shut the up.
She told her to shut the F up.
The Potomac reunion starts
February 15th, the Potomac part 1 of a 3-part reunion. This is definitely going to be a 3-part reunion. Please understand, okay? So apparently Wendy was sharing too much and they were letting her share. Of course, you know, people wanted, you're going to tell us everything that you shouldn't be telling us. So apparently she was like, you know, denying everything. She's like, I have nothing to hide, la, 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 la. And Karen was just like, you need to shut the F up. You don't need to say anything, which a lot of people criticize Karen for during her season, that she didn't say enough. But we understood if you're facing a legal situation that you really shouldn't say too much. Here's the thing though, Karen, you also knew that there was this body cam footage. So you could have done better in regards to this. You know what you could have done? Take a plea deal. They probably would have never released that body cam footage. They probably would have never released that body cam footage. But here we are. That was the Potomac reunion trailer. Has that trailer gotten you guys excited for the reunion? Well, it's going to start on February 15th. Part 1. We will be recapping it. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. All right. All right. Damn, it's already 4:46 here in New York. I did see that. Kai says, Kempire, did you notice that Giselle's stealing lines from creators online? Well, didn't she talk on her podcast that she brought it up during the reunion? She did cite her source. She did say that there's a content creator that says that he doesn't like her, and he always says, oh, boo, tomato, tomato, to Giselle. Does she not realize that that's a thing? That's not really necessarily original to that particular content creator, but I did see that she said that on the reunion trailer. All right. Are we ready to talk about Traitors? Can I go grab my cape? Let me go grab my cape. Let me play a little music for you guys while I go grab my cape. All right. I was gonna play some Christmas music, but I won't do that to you. Hold on.
It's been way too long, I've been building walls around me. Keep my distance so you never know too much about me. Trying to keep you out cause I love my safe space. But the problem is I never looked into my own face. Am I ashamed of myself? Am I afraid of my emotions? Am I ashamed of myself? Am I afraid of my emotions? We let it go, will we hold it inside? It's hard to take the blame, I know it doesn't feel right. We let it go, will we hold it inside? You're more than just your past, you're more than what you realize. We let it go, will we hold it inside? It's hard to take the blame, I know it doesn't feel right.
And we're back. We're back. Creme Brulee says, I want Candace to win. I want Candace to win as well. I just feel like, I know some people are like, oh, MG, she's not playing a good game, especially this week. Guys, please understand, the people that are playing this game, the celebrity version, they're getting paid regardless. I guess, you'd be happy to get that bonus at the end, but I think the competitive side of her wants to win. But at the same time, I think she's having a good time with the game. And I'm enjoying watching her play because not only is she playing, I think, a good game, I also think that she's very entertaining. She is so entertaining. And she has given us moments from episode 1. Now we're on episode 7. Okay? All right. Exactly. I do agree with that. Jen Falala says that she rode too hard for Lisa. I think she should have pulled that back a little bit, but I think she was taking it serious that as traitors, they should have each other's back. But I do think that she rode a little too hard. I think she could have played it a little differently, but she can still fix it. She can fix it, be like, we're housewives. We always have each other's back. I take that serious. And part of the reason why a lot of you are on on Lisa as a traitor because she didn't take that seriously. So that's the thing about Candace. No matter how you feel about Candace on Potomac, Candace is not a dumb girl, okay? She's a very smart woman. And you're seeing that. You're seeing that from her vocabulary, but you're also seeing how she's playing the game. Is she the most athletic? No. But she's still doing the stuff. She's still very much involved. I'm not going to be mad at Rob. I do think that Rob did a little too much. I understood why he voted for Lisa Rinna the first time. But then when he started to get the other players to vote for Rinna, and then he was having these other side conversations, and then at the end, start the speculation that maybe all the housewives were traitors. Maybe it was a traitors thing. Yes, that's good for his game. And let's be honest, I'm sure he's getting paid to be on this show as well. But is he getting paid as much as other people that have a relationship with the network that have a little bit more? Probably not. So maybe he really wants this money. Okay. It's important to kind of keep that in mind, that some people want this money more than anything. I'm not mad at Rob, though, because a lot of people probably thought that he was less than smart, that he wouldn't be able to play this game. I've been very impressed with how he's played this game. Have I liked everything? No. But this is his game. I don't think he should have turned on the traitors so quickly. But was it a smart move to put his name down, Candace? I think her justification for putting his name down felt smart in the moment. But I wonder if later it's going, and maybe that was her intention, to put a spotlight on him. Because if you're turning on a fellow traitor, that means you're probably turning on me. You're probably speculating about me. So if they think I'm a traitor, and if they get me out, that has put a spotlight on him. Why did she put his name down? Was this a traitor on traitor battle? Well, we will have to see. We will have to see. But you can see that he's aligned himself with Colton. Colton. He is so damn unlikable. I can't tell you, watching them, first of all, they brought the fashion. For that gala that they had in this episode, oh my goodness, everyone looked so good. But look, this is the 4th season. They're bringing the fashion. Everyone looked so good. Colton looked a hot mess. Did anyone like, what the hell do you have on? You look crazy. Or he looked like he's trying to be like, not everyone can be a Johnny Ware. Johnny Ware can wear some of these extravagant, or an Alan Cummings. Some of these guys can do that and not look like they're playing dress up. That's I was looking at Colton, and I'm not one of the people that, they just hate Colton for whatever reason. No. I do not like Colton for what he's brought on this show. Okay, that's why I don't like Colton. But I did see a report. Shout out to our friends over the Bravo docket, who did a quick recap of Colton and the stalking accusations against him. Weirdo. That should tell you already how much of a weirdo this man is. That when he was still straight in the closet, the behavior that he was giving to his ex-girlfriend. That says a lot. That says a lot about his character. And people are looking at you, Peacock and NBC Universal. He had these accusations against him that were proven, and you still brought him on the show? I did see Michael Rappaport was on Watch What Happens Live, and he was apologetic for the things that he said during that roundtable about Colton. Here's the thing. Are you also going to apologize to our current mayor for the problematic and Islamophobic things that you said about him? And I find it so interesting because Andy Cohen has so much to say about Eric Adams, as he should, during New Year's Eve. But how about those problematic things? Because it makes me kind of look at Andy like, well, then, Andy, who did you vote for? Andrew Cuomo? The one that was accused of sexually harassing women? And then trying to look, I know I'm bringing it all the way back. But if we're talking to talk today, let's talk about it. Because go look at some of the Islamophobic things that Michael Rappaport said during this mayoral election here in New York. Just saying, because he was very apologetic for offending the gays. Oh, the white gays? I guess that's all that matters. Right, Matt Rogers? I guess that's all that matters. Right, Bowen? Want to be the only one. You want that acceptance. Okay. Sorry. But not sorry. Okay, free Don Lemon. Is he free yet? Do we have an update? Do we have an update? I can't imagine. Because here's the thing. Don Lemon is no punk. So I'm sure Don Lemon is like, okay, whatever. But just the thought, a black man getting arrested. In that whole situation, it's not a safe environment for people of color or black men generally. You know what I mean? All right, I've digressed. Let me get back to Traitors. So back to this. So they had the gala. So here's the thing. And I know a lot of you are saying Rena's back. I told you I was only rooting for Rena because of Traitors. And I usually root for the Traitors. Okay. I don't think Rena was as iconic and legendary as a traitor as some people would like to say. But that's the Bravo universe. Our community, we're realists, right? Come on. She wasn't that iconic during Traitors. Candace was a lot more iconic and gave us iconic moments during this season of Traitors than Rena. Let's be honest. And Rena, you went out like a punk. I wish you would have really defended yourself. But she doesn't have it in her. I didn't mind Rena as a traitor, but she was very obvious. She was very obvious. And what you should have done was say to Colton, you need to wear the brooch. You shouldn't have worn the brooch. Not to say that they figured it out, it was her, but at least in order to show your loyalty to the other traitors, you wear the brooch. You threw me under the bus. Now you should be responsible for getting this a murder in plain sight. You know what I mean? I'm thinking back and I'm like, why did y'all do that? He should be able to have to do the work here. He threw you under the bus. I will help you, but you need to be the one to get this done. All right, but that's just my thoughts. Let me show you Lisa Rinna's look. Okay, so this was Lisa Rinna's look, a sailor. I will say she brought some interesting fashions, but I feel like it should have been on Rob. Thank you. I'm sorry. Who did I say? Ron? It should have been on Rob. It should have been on him. You have something to prove. You need to prove your loyalty. He was able to kind of, and she was right. She was like, look, a woman always has to end up doing the work. Well, you should have, as a smarter trader, you should have put it on him. As a smarter trader, you should have put it on him. Way of Keith said that's smarts on Rob's part. Yeah, they made it easy for Rob. All he had to do was show up and play innocent while she had to go carry out this murder. And here's what I didn't like. I didn't realize that when she finally gets into the situation, she gets Jam Jam to touch the brooch because she's like, oh my God, it's falling off. Can you help me? That was more obvious than an air kiss. And then Jam Jam was poisoned. They did put a little like, oh, someone here was poisoned. Now you need to drink the elixir. And they had to figure out who's going to drink the elixir. And then it became like a fight with Natalie. Natalie was like, I think it was me. I think it was me. So that made people go like, wait a minute, what's going on? That was very suspicious. And I know some of us watched this show thinking that we would know it all. But I think if I was playing the game, I would be like, that was very suspicious. Like she was so insistent on drinking the elixir. Like, why are we so damn insistent? If anything, Brenda should have been more insistent. I just didn't understand why Jam Jam was able to sit there and us all see that he was murdered. Why wouldn't that be revealed later on? It feels like they kind of threw Rena under the bus. She committed the crime, and it would have been perfect, first of all, him not to be able to say anything to anyone because he's leaving. They're taking him out of the game, and he's throwing Rena under the bus. If they had waited till the next morning to reveal it, then people would be like, wait, so what happened? It would have given more time in between so people couldn't remember everything. But in that moment, they threw Rena under the bus. And, right? Lit says Natalie needs to chill. But she's a gamer. So I'm not surprised that she's behaving the way she's behaving. Okay? But you saw how she also had said, you know, I murdered, I killed. I mean, which also would make me suspicious. If I was playing the game, I'd be like, wait a minute. Like all these little clues. The way you acted for the elixir, and then the way, then this whole conversation where you're saying murdered, and I feel like Lisa did not defend herself enough during that round table to the point where she basically gave up in that moment. But I didn't love the fact that I think Candace should have continued with her vote for Natalie, but I also get why she didn't. I think what she did there was something double, because she's probably thinking he's probably talking about me to other people. He's probably since he's turning on the traitors. So this game is pretty much done between us. So I'm thinking she did that. So when I'm gone, because I don't think she really wants to win. I also don't think that Candace wins. I'm okay with Candace not winning because Candace has already won in my book. She's had the most legendary lines. She's played a very good game. So I feel like she didn't come on here to win. It would be nice to win, and based on some of the people that were playing the game, they were like, they did not suspect her. So that also says to me she's playing a pretty damn good game. Oh, wait a minute. Lana says, I'm not a fan of Natalie, especially on how she's been treating Tiffany in these interviews. Uh-oh. Hey, Rita. Rita says, just finished Traitors. Are you loving it, Rita? It's so good. It's so good, but it's so good partially because of a Candace. And I said this last night. So many people are reacting to it. I said in a tweet last night when I watched it, Lisa made it easy for them to take her down. Now Candace is playing one hell of a game and making it so damn entertaining to watch her play. She is the show. Then I said in another tweet before I came live, I was trying to post it last night, my favorite moment from this week's episode, this is what Candace said after the vote, because she was done with Rob. She says, the Christian woman in me is clutching her pearls. I'm aghast. Just though her delivery is so great. She says, the bad bitch that is Candace is ready to play the mother effing game. I have to take the snake down and cut him off at the head. Candace. She said, the Christian woman in me is clutching her pearls. I'm aghast. Okay. The bad bitch that is Candace is ready to play the mother effing game. Okay. She says, I have to take the snake down and cut him off at the head. I said, yes, man. Yes. I was here for this moment. She says, I'm aghast. I don't think Candace wants to necessarily, I think she wants to win, but I think she's okay with not winning the game. Okay? She's delivering iconic lines. I think this is going to be such a great opportunity. I think it's going to open so many doors for her. I know she's working on new music. Good for you, Candace. Roll out the new music. I think this is also going to bring attention to your podcast as well. She has a new podcast, Undomesticated. I've been watching that because I want to hear her thoughts on the game. I'm loving it, Candace. Applause for Candace, y'all. She's my favorite traitor so far. Besides Cirie. Cirie's first season of Traitors, if you haven't watched that, iconic. Cirie from Survivor. She's returning to Survivor. Congratulations to Cirie. She's returning to Survivor 50. I might have to get into it because I love Cirie so much. I loved her on Big Brother when she did Big Brother after the Traitors. She didn't win, but she's a hell of a game player. She's a hell of a game player. So she's returning to Survivor. But if you haven't seen season 1 of Traitors, you should. You should definitely see it. All right. In regards to what other moments did I want to mention? What about this cast? How are you feeling about the cast, y'all? Tara Lipinski was in lockstep. It seems like the skaters are in line with Candace. But you know one thing I have to give Rob? He was already getting his votes together. He also won the sword where he's able to get 2 votes, but he saved it this week. He's like, I'm not going to use that for them. I'm going to use it for myself. People didn't think that Rob would be good at this game because for whatever reason, maybe you watched Love Island and didn't think that he would be. What I've seen, he is playing a good game. Do I like his choices? Of course not. It's his game. And it's going against the Traitors. However, a game for himself, I think it's been good so far, but might bite him in the end. And it's now making me think when Candace said that she has someone that she's gonna cuss out at this reunion. I'm thinking it's Rob. Or maybe Colton too. Okay. Maybe Colton too. I just want her to read a Colton down just because we don't like Colton. Okay. I do feel like Renna gave up. She didn't show up at that round table. She basically buckled. And if anything, it was great to kind of give the faithful some blood when it comes to the traitors. But now Colton has already put out there about Candace. And you saw that Rob basically was like, do you think that it was a church full of housewives? Now he's put a target on the housewives. But now Candace is talking with Johnny, and it's like, oh, you saw how Rob is moving. Rob is moving funny. And repeating exactly what Colton said. Well, I saw Danielle Reyes, who was on the last Traitor. She says she hopes that Colton makes it to the end with Rob, so that when the time comes, Rob will claim all the money. Me too. Look, me too. Because I don't want Colton to win. Who's left? The only person left that I'm actually rooting for? Is Candace. It's Candace. I mean, some of the other people I'm not mad at. Kristen, I'm not mad at. Maura, I love the fashions. I don't love how she gets really she gets into it during the roundtable. If anything, she will be entertaining. There's a target on the guy from One Tree Hill. There's a target on his back and Laguna Beach. I know y'all get mad about that. There's a target on his back now because of Colton. There's a target on his back. Dorinda's still there. Can y'all believe that Dorinda is still there? I cannot believe that Dorinda is still there, still kicking. Saintly Iconic says, I can't take Colton for that long. Me either, but I think he's going to make it to the end, y'all. I have a feeling that he's going to make it to the end. All right, was there anything else that I wanted to say or you guys want me to comment on? I'm sure we have people backstage that want to call in. We have over 1,000 likes. Damn, our backstage is full. I will post the call-in link for the general audience, but if you remember, I've already dropped the call-in link for you guys. Please keep in mind the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, TheKempire LLC, or our sponsors, and everything that they say is alleged. All right? Demi, thank you so much for the super chat. Demi says that Candace Arby's commercial is very cute. I know, I reposted it, and I said, because I saw it after last week's live, I was like, this is adorable. This was a very cute commercial. And I kind of would like to see her do more commercials. She was actually really good in it. But she does acting too. Rita, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Oh, let me shimmy. Euros. I was so invested and scared. I rejoiced when Lisa was voted off. I know. I don't love Lisa, but I also don't think she's as iconic as they're making her out to be on Traitors. Yes, we've known her for a long time as an actress, but what I'm talking about on Traitors. She said, your recent recaps had me drop weights at the gym and fall off the treadmill laughing. Well, don't do that, Rita. We need you safe. Do not hurt yourself at the gym. Thank you so much for the super chat. All right. Guys, keep liking the video if you haven't already. I will be adding timestamps after I meditate. I'm going to meditate, then I'd add timestamps later. We did talk about a lot, and now we're going to hear from our callers. And shout out to our members. I have everyone backstage right now are members, but I will drop the call-in link. Let's get to 1,100 likes, guys. Let's get to 1,100 likes, and I'll drop the call link for the general audience. All right? Elijah's backstage. We're going to bring Elijah up first. Elijah, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey, how are you? Let me put my headphones on.
I'm okay. I'm doing okay. So what I wanted to share, right? A couple things. Firstly, about Traitors, I don't understand for the life of me why they put Colton on Traitors, knowing the situation and circumstance. The things he did. You know what I'm saying? And it's also weird because it feels like they're empowering a person that has done and behaved a certain type of way. But now that I say this, it to me is very on brand for them to empower a certain type of person. Okay, all right, that goes up there. Huh?
Call a thing a thing.
Yeah, and then but it's okay because he's him. You know what I'm saying? That's real weird to me. and he's clearly trying to get like the Dylan and Peter edit, and the same way they were annoying, but more so Peter. He's also annoying the hell out of me too. Also, as far as I hope Candace wins, I really do. Rob was I didn't like what he did, but I understand why he did it.
Yeah.
As far as Potomac, I'm really excited for the reunion. I really, really am. I'm excited to see Karen, but you know what I don't like about her and Monique is I don't like, and me myself going through certain things. I never like when someone who's quote unquote healed likes to now want to read everybody in the room and try to psychoanalyze everybody and oh you dealing with this and you dealing with that. Mind your own business because if you could not correct your issues, don't and you just came out of yours. Don't try to come for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And I would appreciate her advice towards Wendy, but I just feel like it toes the line of prideful still. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Thanks, Elijah. At her big age, that I now remember what I wanted to say to you guys about the episode of her arriving at home, Karen. One of the things that she said was that she looked at these young girls, and her comment was, you know, it took me 6 decades to get to jail, and it only took you 2 because like they were like 20-year-olds. And I was like, that is nothing. Your point here is not landing the way you think it's landing. You should not be in jail at 60 years old. It took me 6 decades. Oh, because you were able to finagle a way of not getting any prison time the last 3 times you were arrested. I was like, it's not landing the way you think that's landing. All right, let me bring up Duchess D next. Duchess D, what did you want to share?
Hello, happy Friday, Kempire.
You too.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and go through this as fast as I can. The RHOP reunion trailer. Does anyone else remember in the season trailer there was a sit down between Eddie and Wendy, and she looked like she was about to cry, and it looks like they're wearing something similar, but then we didn't see it during the season. So I'm wondering if Bravo scrapped that,
No, it's
or
included
if
in the trailer for the reunion.
but this one it's in the reunion trailer, but this one doesn't look exactly the same as the one that they put in the season trailer. Because remember, the season trailer was released before Wendy and Eddie got arrested. So is this the same thing? Are they talking about the arrest or are they talking about something different?
No, the season trailer didn't include that particular conversation. I think the original conversation you're talking about is when she was talking about her dad.
Yeah, but was that shown in the season? I don't remember.
They probably scrapped
I
it.
think that one got scrapped. Anyway, I was just super confused. Karen, sit down again. I'm gonna reserve judgment until I see the whole thing, but I do worry that she's gonna try and continue to grand dame her way through this, and that grand daming her way through something serious is never gonna change as long as Bravo puts a camera in front of her face. The Traitors, I really hope Candace or Rob or both of them can turn it around, because I don't like it when the Traitors implode and make it too easy for the faithfuls to sniff them out.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I'm like, I understand it's called Traitors, but don't make it too easy for the faithfuls.
Yeah.
And then one last thing, Catherine O'Hara, may she rest in peace. I don't know if anybody here watched the studio on Apple TV,
Yes.
but she was in the first season. She was fantastic. And they had actually started filming season 2 very recently. I don't know if she's part of it. I don't know if they're going to give her an episode, especially for the character she played. Patty was the older studio head who they fired, but they brought her back because they valued her so much.
Yeah.
So I really do hope that they can come up with a good way to honor her in that show, because it's a very funny show. If you haven't watched it, I recommend. Great show. But that's all I have.
Apple Plus has some really good content, but you know how they get their marketing. They fired their chief of marketing because they don't need it, because we all talk about it. It's good content there. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Duchess D. Take care.
Have a good weekend.
You too. I forgot to mention the studio because, I forgot about her character there. I talked about it in my short form recap. All right. Toya is backstage. Toya, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to say I need one of those ladies in Potomac to really tell Kiana that she looks a fool clutching a picture frame and not a ring. I mean, all those women, somebody got to tell her that she looked crazy. And I agree with the first caller. Karen really came back on some, like, she was the grand dame. She was the oldest in the group. She was the mother hen. But now it's like she feels like she has street cred because she done did a bid in prison. So she, like, now she really feels like I'm real holier than thou. And then she gonna come for Stacey. Man, if I was Stacey, I would have said, like, you lied last season, talking about you would be vindicated, talking about somebody ran you off the road when you was actually lit. Your words? Come on now, Karen. You shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house. Humble yourself a little bit. Go Candace with the Traitors, even though I'm not watching, but that's my girl. And free Don Lemon. And I hope when he gets out, he gonna have so much content and so much things to say, because I know that's what he's thinking about, all the content he's about to make.
Yep. And his channel's
That's right.
live. It's probably live right now. So
Yes,
he's still making money
yeah.
right now. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Don.
Thanks, Toya. All right. I thought that was a good. Toya's right, but we didn't get to see Stacey's reaction to Karen. So I hope Stacey has a good comeback, because you're right. It's wide open, and if anything, she could. Stacey still watches, because I see some of the things you say, Stacey. I'm like, oh, you watching? You listening to what the people are saying? All right, we're gonna bring Angel up next. Angel, what's going on? Not the Angel, our Angel.
Hey, Kempire, happy Friday.
You too.
I wanted to say free Don Lemon, and yes, RIP to Catherine O'Hara. Yeah. I loved her as Kevin's mom as a little kid, but as an adult, I loved her as Moira Rose. Like, oh my God. If I was going to have I do have a narcissistic mom. I just wish she would have been more fun like Moira. So with the Traitors, Rob is playing a very selfish game, but it is going to benefit him in the long run if the Traitors don't implode. So can't be mad at him. It is a game, and everyone at the end does have to look out for themselves. So
yeah.
With that, and then oh my God. Okay. The Traitors are so good, but I just want to talk about the RHOP reunion real quick. When Karen told Wendy to STFU, I was like, sliding back wig recognizes lifted up wig. Karen was there, so she knows what she's talking about. Don't implicate yourself too much, but don't make it seem like you have nothing going on, Wendy, because we know, and it's not going to translate well if you get handed a crazy sentence in the long run. So that's it.
Thanks, Angel. Hold on. Okay. Thank you so much, Maloney Love, for gifting membership. We appreciate your support. Be sure to thank Maloney for that. Ashley says, yep, Don's show is still going, 7 hours strong. He's live still. So when we're done here, make sure y'all go subscribe and go engage with the content over there as they're covering that. I'm sure they will be the first to report when Don Lemon is out of federal custody. Crazy. Right? I sometimes I'm like, am I really like this? Is this got to be a joke? Like I'm in a dream, a fever dream. All right, let me move on. Let me bring up Nicole next. Nicole, what did you want to share? Nicole, you're muted. Nicole.
Hey, I'm sorry. I was getting a phone call. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, how you doing?
Good.
On Kempire. Free Don Lemon. I just want to say, with your community, I love the different backgrounds, sharing information, and I don't think if you recall my call-ins previously, I grew up in the Foreign Service. So I'm taking this very seriously because I grew up in countries under dictatorship. Americans, take this seriously. By them arresting those journalists earlier this morning, Don Lemon and the remaining three, they are basically stripping you of your First Amendment rights in real time. And the reason I'm saying this is because I know the blueprint of it, because I lived through it and I've seen it. I grew up in the 80s under Reagan and Bush administration. Totally different time how they support it, because my mom worked through State Department, and she used to do the grants and proposals for aid in like West Africa. So my mother was a deputy director. So the kind of lifestyle I had, I was able to see how they would go in and they would first decentralize the government. Then what you're seeing right now in America, and then what they do is they hit the infrastructure. So I know there are people out there that say, well, I don't like talking about politics. I don't care. Politics affects every part of your life, from your energy bills, from healthcare, from the food that you eat, for all the things that you're buying and purchasing.
Your social media.
So I just wanted to bring that forth, and I just want Americans to stop being complicit, because this has never happened in history of America. And I think they're thinking, oh, it never happened to us. Honey, it's happening now. So that's all I wanted to say. Wake up, America. Wake up.
Thanks, Nicole.
And thank you. Thank you.
Take care. They also released more, I forgot how many millions of documents they released today in regards to the Epstein files. Y'all do realize that the president was implicated in it, right? All All right. O'Shea's backstage. We're gonna bring O'Shea up next. O'Shea, I'm coming to South Africa. I'm gonna stay with you over there in South Africa.
You are welcome to come
Thank you.
anytime. And thank you. At the beginning of the video, you recognize that whenever chaos starts in America, it does spread across the world as a result of the influence, and it does trickle down. Unfortunately, all over the show. It's very unfortunate. I want to say about Potomac, about Wendy. I know. I was watching Taria's videos, during the court case days, and she said that Wendy is enjoying the attention and the fame, and I can see that. The character that she has, how she the show she put in the last episode, her persona on social media, how she's dressed into court, I can see she's enjoying this whole situation. This is like the first time she's having this level of fame and notoriety, and I can see that because she shouldn't even be there. I know she needs the money. She should be quiet and waiting for trial. Like, she has three. We are the ones that have to think about her having 3 kids. Oh, she has 3 kids, right? 2 kids at home. But she's having a time up and down. If she had any sense, she would listen to Karen. I know Karen's not like in a place to preach, but like, she did the same thing. She could have avoided so much, and I believe they can avoid quite a lot. But I guess it's not really too late at this stage. But thanks, Kempire.
Thanks, O'Shea. All right, we're gonna bring El My Bell up next. El My Bell, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
Okay, so I just want to talk first about Traitors.
Okay.
And yes, free Don Lemon and Catherine O'Hara. So sorry. Okay, so I was really happy with Rob's gameplay because I think that's the way you're supposed to do it. I've watched all the Traitors, the Australia, New Zealand, UK, and so with Candace, what I thought she was going to do, because you eventually do have to give up a traitor, and Lisa was on everybody's lips. So I was hoping she would say, "Hey, I'm glad it's not me, but it only makes sense," and continue to work with Rob, because I don't want them to start getting faithfuls to try to vote them off instead of them doing their job of voting out faithfuls or getting faithfuls to vote out each other. So I'm a little concerned about that. And then I was saying, as Lisa not fighting back, you know why I think we didn't get that? It's because nobody mentioned Harry Hamlin. Yeah,
That's what. See, if I was on that cast, I would have been like, well, Harry Hamlin.
Yeah, we would have got Amsterdam Lisa at that point. So that's why I was saying she wasn't fighting that hard. She was like, okay, no one said the magic word. And then I just wanted to say, you asked me earlier this week if I thought the producers intentionally messed up Angel's trip, and I hadn't have time to think about it. It was like out of the blue. I was like, oh, Kempire answered me a question. But yes, now I think about it, I believe so.
You think production set her up?
Yeah, I think there was some messiness going on. Now that you brought that up, I had to think about it.
Yeah. All right, El My Bell.
Oh, and I want to say I followed you on Upscroll just a moment ago.
Thank you. And reminder to everyone, I am on Upscroll. I haven't uploaded any videos or anything like that, but that is the new alternative. It's created, it's an Australian app. However, it was created by a Palestinian. So be sure to check that out. They just hit over 1 million new followers there. So help me get to 1 million, to the million followers that are there. All right, I would bring up Wendy next. Wendy, what's going on? And it's Kempire and Upscrolled. Okay, sorry.
Upscroll. Okay, I was like, "What is Upscroll? How are you doing today?"
I'm well. How are you?
I'm stuck in the house. It's snowing in Memphis, Tennessee. Well, it was, but it's ice everywhere. But okay, I don't watch Potomac. I just listen to your recap. I can't do it. I'm glad Candace is doing so well on Traitors. But I did love Lisa's exit line where she was talking about how, that she was a traitor. I was like, go girl, but it was so funny. Free Don Lemon. Oh gosh, I had so much to say. Beverly Hills was boring. I fell asleep on it this morning, so I was like, oh, okay, it must not have been all of that. And that's basically all that I have to think that I wanted to say.
Okay, that's fine.
That's what happened when you have cabin fever. You don't know what you want to say.
I know that's right. I'm about to have some cabin fever myself. Thanks, Wendy, for calling in.
All right, bye.
All right. Guys, for those that are just joining us, keep liking the video. Once we get to 1,100 likes, I will drop the call link for the general audience. If you're not subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe. I will be uploading the audio of our live recaps on the Kempire podcast. Subscribe to there, and make sure you give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, all the good stuff. And don't forget, you've been asking for the mugs, the Are You Okay mugs? I see it. People have been ordering these like crazy. So go get your mugs today. There's a travel mug. There's a regular mug. Are you okay merch and sweatshirts and t-shirts and all that stuff is available right now on House of Kempire website, or if you go to TheKempire.com and click the shop button, whatever's easier for you. So thanks to everyone that's purchased a little something for yourself there. Okay. All right. Let me bring up our next caller. Miss Sharon's backstage. Miss Sharon, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. First of all, I would like to say free Don Lemon. That's my man. You and Don Lemon.
Thank you.
Second of all, I'd like to apologize to anyone that lives in the state of Georgia, especially Fulton County. It was my state that gave out the what do you call it? Where they went in to take their voters
Oh.
when they voted.
Mm-hmm.
It was my state that did that. The Eastern, was it the Missouri Eastern District? That was in St. Louis.
Oh. I had no idea.
Yeah, but they gave the oh, what do you call it? I can't think of it right now. Where they could, the FBI could go in and take the the ballots.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Missouri. Sorry about that. We ought to stay out of grown folks' business.
The voter rolls, they were telling us the voter rolls. Okay.
Correct. It was my state.
Lock y'all up.
I'm telling you, it's just crazy. And I don't like our senators. I vote every year. I vote for the other team, but this state is a red state. So what can you do?
Keep voting.
There you go. That's what I do. Keep voting all the time. I'm always at the ballot box. Even if I'm hurting, I don't care. I get out because my grandparents fought for my rights to vote.
Yeah.
And other people's grandparents.
Yeah, you're right.
And I'm waiting on the news to see if they're gonna let Don Lemon out. He's in court right now, and I watched the news. I don't pay attention to reality TV as much as I used to because I watch the news all the time. And people, just like we said, please get out and vote.
Amen.
That's the only way we're gonna get rid of this.
I agree.
And get from under it.
Thank you,
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Sharon.
Oh, and Sunday is my birthday.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. A lot of people celebrating birthdays. It's a happy Aquarius season. I see there was quite a few birthdays this past week. We were talking about Oprah this week. I know Brandy has a birthday coming up in February, and Kelly Rowland. You know how much I love me some Kelly Rowland. Brandy was celebrated at the Recording Academy yesterday for her Black Music Icon Award. I saw her speech, beautiful speech. All right, live chat. I am going to drop the call-in link for you guys as well, but you will only have 30 seconds to share your thoughts. But our last callers will be Lady of Peace, Keith, Noda Queen, and Miss Esquire. There will be our last member callers, and I'm giving them a minute. All right, let's bring up Lady of Peace first. Lady of Peace, what did you want to share?
Hey Kempire, how you doing? Looking like Aquaman from the back, from the Superman when we was growing up.
Yes.
The Superman's adventures, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But what I was going to talk about was Don Lemon. How can you arrest somebody on KKK Act? Make that make sense. And I find it so ironic that when Oreca went to the prize and talked to the burnt orange face Antichrist, here he comes up with a no charge to put on Don Lemon, then send it out to the FBI, and then they did it quietly. Then we got Karen. Karen, you telling Wendy to be quiet, and you say you talk about your DUI when Monique had ran off the road, and you telling Monique she blow a 2.2, she gonna blow a future, but you still out here doing the same thing. And Monique, you dressed like a dang mathematic project that from geometry class, and you trying to bring in some more receipts on the phone. Girl, get it together. We done with you. We loved you at first, but then we turned out to see that you was a liar and a flake. Candace, I hope you win this thing with the traitors. Like you said, it can probably, if she don't, we still gonna love Candace. Remember where you get your income from, Roach. Then we have what else we was talking about? Don Lemon, Candace,
And during time.
I'm sorry. Yeah, and like I said, it's sad that this man is locked up on some KKK mess because y'all said that. And then again, Kempire, freedom is not. I mean, the freedom of speech is not free because y'all are monitored on what you can say on your YouTube channel. You have to use buzzwords. But the thing of with this man, y'all locked this man up when you could clearly see that he was asking questions. So he didn't go into the church and caused the riot. The riot was already going on. He went in there to investigate it. So if you trying to put him on the KKK act when you got all the January 6th that you had made into ice, which we ain't not food, so they they need to be arrested. That's all I got.
Okay, thanks, Lady of Peace. All right, let me bring up Keith next. Keith, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
So I just wanted to say about this whole Don Lemon situation that this is definitely seen as a political escalation because one, who would have thought that in a matter of 12 months that we would have went from a democracy to a dictatorship? But also prior to Don Lemon even getting arrested, there was a federal judge that actually declined to even sign an arrest warrant. So the fact that the federal government still were inclined to still do so to show that they're trying to exert their power. And there really needs to be some checks and balances on how far they can even go with what they can do. Because what really needs to be done for everyone is just really focusing on the local elections and figuring and what I think Congress and House Representatives need to really focus on is also getting rid of the Electoral College. Because that's the reason why we actually have no power in who's becoming the president. But in addition to that, I want to say the RHOP trailer was actually very good. I loved it. SLC, take note. This is how you do a trailer. And as for Karen, it's easy to take accountability once you already suffered the repercussions. But that's about it.
Thanks, Keith. And she still ain't taking no accountability, it feels like, based off that trailer. But I'm going to wait to hold judgment out till I see the full one-on-one. All right. Noda Queen's backstage. Noda Queen, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
First of all, Karen lies like a blanket while that's on my mind. I don't trust nothing that come out that lady mouth. She's just repeating her lies. I don't care. But as far as Traitors goes, the more I think about what Rob did this past episode, the less impressed I am. Because at the beginning, at breakfast, he promised he was going to help with Lisa. So not only did he betray Lisa, he betrayed Candace as well. And that's what's going to mess up his game. And like even Candace voting for him, that was a warning shot.
Yeah.
It was very clearly a warning shot. They're catching on to them. So if Candace goes, it's going to lead right back to Rob.
Yeah.
And also, Rob is a production darling, low key, when it comes to Peacock, because he was the first Casa Moore person to be brought back as an OG for the next season. And the next season, America hated him. We were trying to vote him out on multiple occasions, and production did every trick in the book to keep that man long as possible. So yeah, Rob is a production darling. He's like, it was to the point where people were assuming that he was going to have a show.
And apparently they asked him multiple times to do Traitors.
Yeah. They love Rob over there. So
you know how that works.
Telling everybody about the dagger, that was a weird move too.
Holding out in regards to using the dagger?
Not even holding out, telling everybody like, I trust you're faithful, so I'm going to tell you all that I had the dagger. Why? If you're a faithful, you would assume that a traitor could possibly be in that group, and you'd want to keep that safe. So I think he's getting too cocky.
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Did you see the chef from the Colorado trip posted a TikTok?
No. What did she say? What did he say?
Yeah, he basically said the most interesting thing is he was hired by production directly, so he was there for the whole trip. Yeah,
he was hired by productions. Oh, that's even worse for production.
He was the same person the whole trip, so he didn't even know they didn't have water or anything. He's the one that turned on the water in the house.
The house one, that one.
No, it's the same chef the whole weekend, the whole trip. He was at the house. He was at the fly fishing thing.
Wait, that was a different chef.
No, that was both. It was him.
I have to go see that. All right. Thanks, Noda Queen.
No problem.
All right. We're going to bring up Miss Esquire next. Miss Esquire, what did you want to share about any of the hot topics?
Hello. I think I want to share, like, I have not been able to find the indictment for Don Lemon and the and Miss Foote
I
and
bet the DOJ
others.
can't
And so
either.
no, they keep referencing it in all of these news articles. So I really don't know what the indictment says. People keep referencing the FACE Act with it, which is an act that is actually meant to protect all these religious zealots who show up at
Mm-hmm.
abortion clinics.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they're using some of the civil rights laws that we know that are associated with protecting churches from bombings and vandalism and those kind of things that happen.
No.
So I think until we actually see the indictment, we don't know the basis. But it is interesting because they failed to get three different arrest warrants. I think two times they tried to get an arrest warrant for Don Lemon, and another time they tried to get an arrest warrant from a judge for one of the other journalists, and they failed. So it looks like they actually did go to a grand jury, present, whatever evidence they think they have to support charges, and that's how they were able to get an arrest warrant is because they did the indictment first. So it's just really unfortunate, and people really need to be outraged. I hope we see the Jimmy Kimmel level.
Right? Exactly. The Jimmy Kimmel level of protecting free
I want to
speech.
see that level of outrage. I want to see all of the networks and all of the journalists, all of the White House correspondents. They need to start showing some solidarity in the fifth estate, to be honest.
No.
But what I will say on a light matter is I actually have a lot of grace for Karen, and I understood a lot of what she was saying in the preview, because when you have been around someone who really suffers from addiction very heavily, they will isolate people, they will gaslight other people and themselves, they will avoid information that they don't want to internalize. I can believe she did all of that. I can also believe that she isolated Ray because she's the client. And if she told her lawyers, you discuss this with me, not with him, they would have no reason to discuss her case, the strategy of her case with Ray. So there is a world in which she really could have isolated him from being involved at all. Now, I agree with you.
No.
She didn't isolate him from being there that night, from seeing what he saw, or from being able to get on the Google schmoogles like we do.
Because you
But I
also,
think
as a partner, wouldn't you say to your partner, so what are the decisions being made? Like, what are the next steps? Are you going to take a plea? Are you doing this? Like, we have to remember, Ray's
listen,
not some idiot. Ray
no,
is
no,
an
no. Ray is the
executive.
Black Bill Gates, honey. You gotta make money to owe money. We remember all the things about Ray. But what I will say, having had the experience myself of loving someone who is deep in addiction and being the child of parents who struggle with addiction, I can't tell you how much they can kind of keep you out of the loop of things, give you misinformation, deflect. A lot of that can happen. So we'll have to just see. I do think that she is giving way too much, wise woman under the tree for me, in this reunion lead up. Also, listen, y'all, don't be fooled by these reunion trailers because they always look really good. And then we get into them and half of it is a snooze fest. So there's also that. I don't watch the Traitors, but I love your recaps. And honestly, it sounds like Rob is playing the best game. But I do love that this is giving Candace a redemption and people get to see her in a different light and get to see her personality in a different light. I love that for her.
And I think
So.
that alone would make you enjoy the episodes.
Yeah, yeah. I love that I think that she needs to get out of that space with those women. And she's also like a millennial, like Amanda Francis, but she plays the millennial part very different. Like there's millennial Candace and Crystal Minkoff, and then there's millennial Amanda Francis and RHOBH. There's different ways that we use our emotional intelligence. I do agree with you. Amanda is weaponizing a lot of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, talk to you soon.
Thanks, Miss Esquire.
Bye.
We let Miss Esquire speak because she was speaking to the legality of the Don Lemon of it all. So everyone else, general audience, you're getting 30 seconds to share your thoughts and make sure that you've chosen what you would like to talk about before I bring you up. For those that are just joining us, I will be adding the timestamps after I meditate because I'm about to get off here because I'm going to meditate at 6. But I've been live for a while now. How long has it been? Almost 3 hours. These Friday live. That's why I said next week I might have to take Friday off, y'all. Lord have mercy. Yes, guys, be sure to drop your lemon heads and your lemons in the chat. Oz Fly Girl, thank you so much for the super chat. Oz Fly Girl says, thank you, Kempire, for making things better. Thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you so much for the super chat. Again, guys, don't forget you can repost this live or share this live. That also helps build the channel as well. All right, let me bring up Jess next. Hold on, Jess. Hold on. Jess, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire. I was just going to say that I really do think that with the reunion, when Karen said to Wendy, like, shut the F up, I immediately flashed back to when her mom told her to shut the F up.
Oh.
And that's why I feel like Wendy, like, when it comes to that type of like direction, like it's gonna bring her to tears because she really does. I do think that she really does genuinely look at Karen as like that type of figure. And I think that, like, you know, when Karen snubbed her at the last reunion, I do think that it was something that was hurtful to where she now decided, I'm going to look at you guys as coworkers. And I did also notice that Kiana was mute the entire time. So for people saying that Kiana needs a mentor and all that, Karen's there and we still don't get nothing from her.
She had her picture frame. Hold on, let me show you the picture frame. She brought her picture frame. What you mean? She was there. She was there. Okay.
Have a good one, Kempire.
You too, Jess. Bye. Kiana was there with her picture frame, and apparently she stole Greg from his wife. That's what Jazzy said. All right, Excommunicado's backstage. Excommunicado, what did you want to share?
Yeah, hi, Kempire.
Hey.
Okay, first of all, Freedom Lemon and America, get your act together. About the trailer, I would just say I really hope Karen doesn't come in feeling too vindicated and all who her because she really betrayed Wendy last season. And she has no right to come and be talking down to Wendy because at least Wendy did show up. She didn't run away like you did last year. And you can't feel like you are the saint now because at least Wendy is still an alleged fraud. You've been convicted and you're a confirmed drunk. Also, she talking to Stacey about lying. You can't accuse anybody of lying when we are not even sure of who or how old you are because if you really are Thomas Jefferson's concubine, then you probably shouldn't be here right now.
Well, damn. All right, Excommunicado, thank you for calling in. That was a read. Look, that was a read. All right, let me bring up Vital. Vital's wearing my "Are You Okay" sweatshirt. Yes.
Hey.
What's going on, Vital?
I just want to agree with Miss Esquire about the reunion. Oftentimes, Andy comes in, oh, this reunion is going to be explosive, and there's all these good clips, and then you watch it and you're like, all right, I'm waiting for what I saw in the preview.
Yeah.
And it never comes. It never comes. So I really do hope it's good. I don't follow it. I mostly watch your recaps and then I go and watch for like little things to kind of like get on board and see if I agree with you or not, which in most cases I do agree with you. So, and Free Don Lemon and Traitors. I tried so hard to like Candace on Housewife. And I couldn't. The last time she was on, I was very, very close. But let me tell you, Candace on Traitors is everything. I absolutely love her on Traitors. Absolutely. I don't know what they need to get her back on, but I need to see more of her, just not on Housewife. I feel like Housewife is too toxic and it drains her energy, and she can't show up as her best self. And she just always has to be combative and on the defense. And I don't think that is the ideal Candace. But I love her on Traitors.
I wonder how you'll feel when you see her on Ultimate Girls Trip. Have you seen her Ultimate Girls Trip when she did that with Portia?
She was with Portia.
Yeah.
I did, and I liked her on it. I did, and then she came back on Housewife, and I think that's when I started liking her a little bit more. So I just feel like Housewife doesn't bring out the best of her. It brings out the wordsmith and the little sass, and we love that moment, but the toxicity of it, I feel like it drains her too much, and it just brings out the ugly out of her. And she's such a gorgeous lady. And I just love her when she's smart and she's able to navigate rooms where, you know, she's challenging people and challenging herself, but it's not in a messy catty kind of way.
So you probably enjoy her podcast.
I don't do much of a podcast unless
I'm just
it's murder
saying,
mystery.
you looking for ways to enjoy Candace. I'm trying to give them to you.
Okay, I'll see. I'll try it.
Report back. I gotta go.
I will. Bye.
Bye. All right. Nayoka is backstage. We're gonna bring Nayoka up next. Nayoka, what did you want to share? Nayoka, you're muted. Nayoka.
Hi, Kempire. How are you? Thank you for having me up.
What's going
It's
on?
Nayoka, but thank you.
Nayoka, what's going on?
I just wanted to say thank you so much for creating such a positive space for all of us. As a psychologist, you taking that moment to have that mindful moment in the beginning was really, really important. It's been a really hard year so far. My family actually experienced the loss of our 10-year-old family member.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We are Caribbean, and as you know, in the hospitals there, the resources there aren't so well. So unfortunately, as a result of that, We lost him. I did send you a DM. There's, a donation. If I can share it in the chat, wherever, I would really appreciate that. And even
Unfortunately,
if
we
people
can't do that. We can't do that here, but
that's okay. Even if people can't donate, prayers, please keep my family in your prayer. That's what we need most of all. And again, thank you for creating this space.
Thank you, Nyoka, for calling in. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Take care. All right, Wendy, you called back in? Wendy, what's going on?
Yes, because I remember what it was I wanted to say.
What?
Rob's best friend on Love Island was Aaron, and Aaron won the Traitors of UK. So probably Aaron then told him how to
play the game?
How to play the game. That's what I wanted to tell you. My menopause brain started to work right after I hung up with you.
That makes complete sense. I was giving this man more credit than he actually deserved. That makes a lot of sense. I forgot about that. They did say that one of the people there knew someone from Traitors from the UK. And I remember Aaron said that's how he won that's why he's playing such a good game.
Yep. So, okay. Bye.
Wow. Thanks, Wendy. Wow, that makes a whole that was important. That was important for us to keep in mind. So he had a heads up on how to play this game, y'all. Always they always get the heads up, don't they? Always get the heads up. All right. If you're part of the replay, be sure to let us know your thoughts on all the hot topics that we talked about. I can't promise you guys next week that I will be talking about Beverly Hills. It just eats into our time. Right? Kai says, oh, wait. Yep, Aaron was on Traitors UK. I forgot. What the F? So that makes complete sense. Exactly. RC says, interesting, but Rob is slipping, though. Now it makes sense how he's moving. Makes sense. Okay. Now I need to go rewatch that season with Aaron, because I just rewatched the last season of the UK because I couldn't remember. I was like, who won at the end? But that was an interesting season too. Okay, baby says, now I really hope he doesn't win. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Sidebar, I did see that Alan Cumming said on the Kelly Clarkson show that episode 7, like something amazing happens. What was the amazing thing that happened? Don't you be giving Andy Cohen next. I was like, what was the amazing thing? I really was waiting for something like, what was it, the Jam murder? I don't know. All right, whatever. All right. Let me say thank you for the super chat, Miss Sharon. Miss Sharon says Jane Fonda is on the Don Lemon show. Yes, come on, Jane Fonda. Thank you so much. Well, we'll stay locked to the Don Lemon YouTube channel and platforms and socials and things like that to get an update on his arrest. For those that may have missed it, there was breaking news earlier today that Don Lemon was arrested by federal agents for his reporting of what was going on, the protests that were going on in Minnesota. So go over there after this live and go drop a lemon. Go drop a follow as well if you're not following already, because he's been reporting and building his own news network here on these YouTube streets. So, and if you're not subscribed to our channel, be sure to subscribe. If you're a Lemonhead, let us know. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. Thank you to our King Scars. Thank you to our channel members. Thank you to our subscribers. Those of you that were watching in the background, we appreciate you as well. And thank you to everyone that sent in super chats, cash chats, Venmos, things like that. We appreciate that. But now get off a line. Go take a break. Go take some breaths. Let's say, okay, before we go, let's do some breathing. Next time, do it a little bit slower, though, than I just did. All right. I will see you guys later. Thank you all for being here. Keep liking the video. Bye, y'all. Check out the description for all of our sponsors and things like that. I will see you all in the next one. Bye, y'all.
Here we go now.